Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fargo Regional Championship here in beautiful Fargo, North Dakota. I'm Jack Bartlett alongside Jason Rutman. We're here for the Golden Gophers facing off against the St. Cloud State Huskies in the quarterfinals of the NCAA Hockey Championships. A quick recap of Thursday night, where the Golden Gophers were able to take a convincing, but also not so convincing, 9-2 victory against the 16-seeded Canisius Golden Griffins. The Gophers took a bit too long for comfort to get going, but eventually got Canisius tired, went and combined with a 5-minute major and ejection penalty to pull away in the third with 6 goals for a 9-2 victory.
Yeah, Jack, I think that you recapped that really, really nicely. By the end of the game, there was a lot of confidence in how the Golden Gophers were skating. They were playing much faster than Canisius. Their passes were crisp, and they were setting up great offensive opportunities. The first 40 minutes, however, that wasn't necessarily the story. The Golden Gophers were actually down 2-1 at one point in the second frame to the Canisius Golden Griffins, and Minnesota really seemed to be struggling to get those breakout passes through the neutral zone and get good looks on the Canisius netminder. Ultimately, a 5-minute major was the beginning of the end for the Golden Griffins, but you never know how the game would have turned out had Minnesota not benefited from that call.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing that Jason and I noticed up here in the broadcast booth is that Canisius played the first halves of the periods, especially the first and second, really well. They were able to keep up with the Golden Gophers, but as the Gophers kept going and kept wearing away at the Canisius' defense, their legs tired a bit and tired considerably. That led to the Golden Gophers taking their first lead since the game was 1-0 with a Connor Kurth goal about a minute and a half before the second period ended to go into the break, leading 3-2. And that major by Stefano Bottini, not a great penalty to take, was in open ice and wasn't really affecting the play. He hit Jackson Lacombe up high, and he was given a 5-minute major penalty, which had to be served by somebody else, and was kicked out of the game. And that just set Canisius on the back burner for the rest of the game. They were trying to play catch-up. They relinquished 2 goals during that, with Jimmy Snuggerud's team tying 21st of the year, tying him with Matthew Nyes, and Brody Lamb scoring on the power play. And then Bryce Brodzinski, just by himself in the third period, had a hat trick in the third period alone. He scored 3 of the last 4 goals himself for his 16th, 17th, and 18th on the season.
Yep. The end of the game showed that the Golden Gophers have what it takes to compete here in Fargo, but the Big Ten as a whole has outperformed everyone in this NCAA men's ice hockey tournament. Ohio State, Penn State, Minnesota, and Michigan are the 4 representatives from the Big Ten Conference, and in their opening 4 games, they outscored their opponents a combined 36-4. Michigan alone put up 11 goals on Colgate. So the Big Ten is here to play this tournament, and I'm excited to see who ends up in the national championship in Tampa in just a few weeks.
Sadly, we won't get to see any of the Big Ten teams play today. They will be playing tomorrow. Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State will all be playing in games tomorrow because they played yesterday, being Friday. And some team leaders for the Golden Gophers in their victory on Thursday night. Jimmy Snuggerud led the team in shots with 8 and had a goal himself. Matthew Nyes notably did not show up on the score sheet, surprisingly. Did not have a point, but did have 3 shots. Bryce Brodzinski, like I said earlier, had the hat trick along with an assist and 5 shots. Logan Cooley had 3 assists. He's been dishing them out all season long. Had his 34th, 35th, and 36th assists on the season for a team leading 55 points. He is now joined by Jimmy Snuggerud in the 50-point club. Most importantly, though, Cooley has had some face-off struggles throughout the season. He was 9 of 12 on the dot last night. Justin Close had a pretty solid game. He did have the second goal especially. He probably would have liked to have back. He snuck through his 5-hole, but he was 16 of 18 saves, had 2 goals allowed. Golden Gophers overall won 35 out of 53 face-offs, and Jackson Nelson, who's always been the Golden Gophers' most consistent face-off winner, was 12 of 19 on the face-off dot.
But let me tell you, Jack, those guys didn't even make up the most successful line all night. That was the Gophers' third line. Rhett Pitlick, Aaron Huglin, and Connor Kurth played the most consistent 60 minutes out of any of the top lines. It took a really long time for the Nyes, Cooley, Snuggerud line to get going. The Nelson, Nevers, Brodzinski line was quiet until the third when Brodzinski got hot. But Pitlick, Huglin, and Connor Kurth were very, very good throughout the entire game, forcing turnovers, rushing down the ice, and putting quality shots on net. Something notable for this game, Connor Kurth not in the lineup. He suffered a lower body injury, and so Brody Lamb has been shifted up from the fourth line to that third line. He'll be on the right wing for Aaron Huglen.
Yeah, an interesting mix-up. The Gophers also insert Charlie Strobel and Garrett Pinanimi into the lineup. Out goes Colin Schmidt after he didn't have a great game last night. Coach Bob Motzko trying to shuffle things up on the fourth line a little bit. And on defense, at least, Cal Thomas and Luke Middlestat switch spots. So Cal Thomas will be alongside Chesley, and Luke Middlestat will be the extra offender. Over to Jason to say more about St. Cloud State and how their season's gone.
The Huskies have had an up and down year. They were not atop the NCHC standings this year, despite coming out with a championship trophy at the end of it. In fact, they finished fourth with 41 points in the standings. However, in the NCHC tournament, they played great hockey. They defeated North Dakota 3-2 in overtime. That was a thriller. And then they went out on XL Energy Center ice and shut down Colorado College 3-0. It was a 17-save performance from Jackson Castor, their netminder, and they are looking to get hot at the right time. A few notes about St. Cloud State. They've faced the Golden Gophers once in the regional finals. That was back in 2014. The Golden Gophers won that game 4-0. Something notable about that, the head coach for St. Cloud State at the time was none other than Gophers' current skipper, Bob Motzko.
How about that? So Coach Bob Motzko knows St. Cloud State very well, and I'm sure a lot of the St. Cloud State fans know him very well. As the teams start to take the ice, mostly a Golden Gopher crowd. There is a small section of St. Cloud State Husky red, but far more maroon and gold than red and white.
Let's talk about some difference makers for these St. Cloud State Huskies, Jack. The top line is what I'm really looking at tonight. VT Miettinen, Yami Krannila, and Zach Okabe. On the season, they've combined for 112 points. Krannila and Okabe are both seniors, and VT Miettinen is in his junior year. They call them the international line. They're all from outside of the United States, and they've been really good all season long. Yami Krannila leads the team in points. VT Miettinen leads the team in assists. And then the centerman on the second line, Grant Cruikshank, leads the team in goals. He should be a familiar name for Golden Gopher fans who have been listening to us for the last 2 years. He spent the 2021-2022 season on the Golden Gopher roster, where he put up 7 goals and 8 assists.
Yeah, Cruikshank's had a breakout season this year. 23 goals with 14 points for 37 assists for a guy who was third, fourth line swingman for the Golden Gophers last year. Wore number 21, now wears number 19 as a graduate student. He leads their team in face-off win percentage at 56.2% and leads their team in power play goals with 8 as well.
Absolutely. A few other names to point out. The goalie, Jackson Castor, is having a career year for himself. The Phoenix, Arizona native has gone 14-7-1, allowing under 2 goals a game, and has a .925 save percentage. Right now, his GAA, Jack, 1.97. If the season ended before this game for St. Cloud State, that would be a record for the best average in program history.
Yeah, he was phenomenal in St. Cloud State's first round shutout of Minnesota State, 4-0. He had 34 saves for yet another shutout for him on the season, and has not allowed a goal in 153 minutes and 16 seconds. That's an awful lot of hockey.
Yeah, it's real impressive stuff. Something else to point out about the matchup between these two teams, the Golden Gophers are very young. We knew that coming into the year, tied for Michigan as the youngest team in average age in the nation. The Huskies, on the other hand, are incredibly experienced. They have 11 players who have skated in over 100 college games. 4 of those guys have skated in over 150 games. The Golden Gophers, on the other hand, have 5 skaters at the century mark. They have none over 150. Their team leader is Bryce Bradzinski with 143 under his belt. Minnesota is a significantly younger team, but they've been able to play up all season long, taking down teams such as St. Cloud State, who are very, very experienced.
Yeah, and if you look up and down their lineup, the Golden Gophers lineup filled with freshmen, there is nobody younger than VT Miettinen on the first two lines for St. Cloud State. He's the youngest at a junior. Other than that, they have two freshmen on the third line, Grant Deshawn and Jack Rogers, and then Adam Ingram on the fourth line as a freshman. We will take a break here as the playing of our national anthem is done.
Presenting the colors tonight proudly are representatives of the University of North Dakota Army ROTC Color Guard. Please remain standing until the colors are retired. And now to honor the United States of America, we welcome the University of Minnesota Band to lead us in the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
This time, unlike last game, that was provided by the University of Minnesota Pep Band, traveling for the Saturday game, but not for the Thursday game.
To take a look at the starting lineups for this evening's game, we will begin with the second-seeded St. Cloud State Huskies. Top line center is Yami Kranola, left wing VT Mietinen, right wing Zach Okabe. The second line, former Gopher Grant Crookshank is the centerman for Kyler Kupka and Micah Miller. Aiden Spellacy is the center for Grant Ashan and Jack Rogers. And Mason Salquist leads the charge. Adam Ingram to his left, Joel Molinar to his right. Defensively for the Huskies, Andre Trebol is matched up with Brendan Bushy. Jack Peart, the Minnesota Wild prospect, is paired with Josh Ludke. Cooper Wiley and the captain Spencer Meyer are together. The extra defenseman for St. Cloud State is Mason Reiners. The netminder, number 40, the senior Jackson Castor.
A little bit of a shuffle here for your Golden Gophers. Number 1 overall, pairwise, USA tournament. Pretty much number 1 in everything. First line listed on the depth chart tonight, Aaron Hughlin at center, left wing Rhett Pitlick, right wing Brody Lamb instead of the injured Connor Kurth. Second line, it's the best line all season. Logan Cooley, Matthew Nyes to his left, Jimmy Snuggerud to his right. Jackson Nelson centers the third line alongside Mason Nevers to his left, Bryce Brodzinski, that is, to his right. And the fourth line, John Middlestat at center, Charlie Strobel on his left, Garrett Pinanimi on the right. Left and right defense as they come. Ryan Johnson alongside Jackson Lacombe, who should hopefully be 100% for this game. Mike Kester alongside captain Brock Faber, also Wild prospect. Third line, Cal Thomas alongside Ryan Chesley. Luke Middlestat is the extra defenseman. Justin Close, as always, is in net for your Golden Gophers. Jason, what are you looking forward to this game?
I think this is going to be a really close game, Jack. Both of these teams want it. Minnesota looking for a second consecutive trip to the Frozen Four. St. Cloud State looking to go for the second time in 3 years and for the third time in program history. These teams know each other. They had 2 incredibly competitive games earlier in the season. They split the season series 1-1, and I think this is going to be an all-out battle for 60 minutes. I wouldn't even be surprised if this one goes to overtime. Both of these teams highly dedicated, ready to play physical, high-quality hockey here.
The thing that I would take a peek at is Jason and I was talking about pregame, and I briefly mentioned nobody over 6'1" and the only man over 6'1" on the St. Cloud State's top 2 offensive lines, Kyler Kupka. Their top line is entirely comprised of guys that are 5'10", and when you're facing off against Cooley, Nyes, and Snuggerud, who play a bigger brand of hockey, they're not afraid to throw their weight around, and that might give St. Cloud State fits, but also those shorter guys are typically going to be faster.
You're absolutely right. Minnesota's going to have to work really hard to keep the neutral zone game clean and get pucks out of their defensive end as fast as possible. We'll see who comes out skating better. That could set the tone for this game.
The Nelson line will begin this one for the Golden Gophers. Waiting the official start from the referee. We are underway here. The Fargo Regional Championship has begun as St. Cloud State wins the faceoff and quickly gets it into the Gophers zone. Mike Kester down in the close corner to go and retrieve it. Brodzinski feeds it over to Lacombe. Lacombe back to Kester as he regroups. Kester back to Lacombe. Lacombe past the Gophers' blue line, ahead to Nevers, who deflects it into the zone.
I like how Minnesota started this game, really working on that defensive puck possession, keeping the puck out of the hands of the Huskies. This is going to be a key to success for them tonight, controlling the pace of play.
Hot pass from Mason Nevers towards defenseman Ryan Johnson came out of the zone, and the Gophers have to regroup. Johnson to Nevers, and then Johnson after it in the corner, battling there with Peart. Peart emerges victorious, and he'll skate it up for St. Cloud State's first offensive possession. Peart dumps it in, rings it around the boards far to close side. Faber and Okabe down there fighting for it. Cooley helping out. Faber wins it back, and Johnson starts it again behind the Gophers' net. Puck goes all the way down, and referees will say icing. Faceoff will come down in Minnesota's end.
Minnesota is going to have a lot of work on their end to try and get around some of these defensemen for St. Cloud State. We talked about Jack Peart already. He was named second team All-NCHC this year. Of course, Andre Treball and Brendan Bushy, 2 of the oldest players on the team. They are absolute stalwarts defensively. And then the captain, Spencer Meyer, you can't forget about him. He has a big body that he can throw around, and he's going to work hard here tonight.
Cooley fires a long shot after his own face-off win. Bit of jawing there after the whistle, but Castor comes up with an easy save, and that's the first shot on goal of the game.
It's a good look from Logan Cooley, fires it right onto Jackson Castor, testing him out. Remember, he's gone over 150 minutes now without letting in a goal, Jack. The last time a team scored on him was North Dakota in the NCHC semifinals. That was over a week ago.
Interesting thing for St. Cloud State, their goalie's no shorter than 6'3". Castor stands at 6'3", Dominic Bassi at 6'6", and then their third backup, James Gray, at 6'3" as well. St. Cloud State wins the faceoff. Mietnin finds Brendan Bushy, team leader in blocks with 42, and Bushy passes it over to his defensive partner, Treball. Ahead to Okabe, who deflects it in. Ryan Johnson on it there for the Gophers. Tried to find Nyes, who's fighting with Spalacy along the wall. Johnson wins that. Faber now working it ahead to Snuggerud. Snuggerud works his way in, tried to find Nyes coming down the far end. Pass couldn't quite connect, but Snuggerud comes up with it. Cooley, touch pass to Nyes. That shot was deflected out front. That was number 8, Spalacy, who got a stick on Nyes' shot. Would have been a quality opportunity from the top of the circle.
Now the Golden Gophers, another good offensive push there. But what I'm impressed by is how quickly they were able to move that puck through the neutral zone and get it cleanly across the blue line. That was something that troubled them for the first half of the game against Canisius in round 1 of this tournament. They were really having problems with how fast Canisius was moving, and on this smaller ice surface compared to Mariucci, they weren't always able to get those clean zone entries and good looks on net. It's a strong start for Minnesota. I'm impressed with how they're controlling play so far.
Spalacy face-off against Middlestat. Gophers control that. Now Luke Middlestat back to Chesley, who takes a shot. That's off the blocker of Jackson Castor. That may have wound up wide of the net. St. Cloud State now tries a breakout. John Middlestat creates a turnover. Garrett Pinanimi trying to work into the offensive zone. Fires! Saved by Castor. It skipped over his net. He couldn't quite tell where it was. Good opportunity for the fourth line here early on for the Gophers. St. Cloud State trying to get out of their zone, but another turnover forced by Garrett Pinanimi. Finds Chesley on the far boards. He dumps it underneath. Tries to find Middlestat and Strobel. Strobel tried to find somebody down in the near corner, but St. Cloud State and Treball regroup. Treball up ahead, tried to find Jack Rogers, pass didn't connect, and John Middlestat finds Rhett Pitlick. First action this line has seen tonight. Puck is stopped behind the net by Castor. Lamb trying to win a battle there with Spencer Meyer. Meyer controlling the puck and now finding his defensive partner, Mason Reimers, the freshman. St. Cloud State breakout pass. Joe Molinar driving in. Good defensive play there by Jackson Lacombe. Lacombe up ahead. It's Pitlick. Pitlick briefly mishandles it, and St. Cloud State dumps it in again. Joe Molinar on that dump in. Aaron Huglin, stretch pass from Cal Thomas, finds Pitlick skating underneath the net of Castor. Castor tried to find Huglin out front, wasn't there, but Johnson keeps it in the zone. Long shot finds its way to Castor, kicked out, and another shot by Bryce Brodzinski on the follow-up. Another solid save by Jackson Castor.
That's a great offensive possession for the Golden Gophers. Get the puck in down low, get your defensemen to the blue line, and get it back to them. From there, the Golden Gophers are able to take a long shot on net. It was an excellent tip by Rhett Pitlick and a great kick save by Castor, and then a solid follow-up attempt by Brodzinski, also saved. It's going to be challenging to crack Castor tonight for the Golden Gophers, but if they keep peppering him with shots, it'll happen at some point.
Nelson against Grant Cruikshank, his former teammate. Nelson wins that one. Kester gets it at the point. Long shot. That's wide of the net. Bounces through the 5-hole of Castor and fired on net by Mason Nevers. Castor covers that one as well.
Castor's locked in tonight. It's pretty easy to see, Jack. The reaction time is there, following the puck really well. The Golden Gophers are just playing much stronger offensively than St. Cloud State is defensively. We're not even 4 minutes in. Shots on goal already lead 4-0 Golden Gophers.
Nelson almost won the faceoff. Chance for Nevers in front. He gets tripped. And that'll be a Gopher power play. Justin Close to the bench. Mike Kester has the puck on the far side. Tries to find Nelson on the close side. Doesn't connect. Now Cooley up top. Back to Brodzinski. Now Lacombe and down to Kester. Kester fires from a sharp angle. That's deflected on net by Nelson. Saved by Castor. Lacombe to Brodzinski on the close side. Plays catch with Cooley. Cooley now up top. Lacombe, Brodzinski. Brodzinski, Kester. Now Lacombe. Lacombe, Brodzinski. Brodzinski fires. That one's wide of the net. St. Cloud State still doesn't touch up, and they finally do. I'm not quite sure who's going to go to the box, but it'll be a tripping call.
It's going to be Grant Cruikshank. 2 minutes for sending Mason Nevers to the ice. The Golden Gophers will head to the power play, and more than ever, that's where they want to be tonight. St. Cloud State's penalty kill has not been particularly strong this season, only eliminating about 3 of every 4 opportunities. That's relatively low, especially compared to the Golden Gophers, who are well upwards of 80%.
76% penalty kill percentage for St. Cloud State on the season, but they do play a risky brand of hockey. They have 8 shorthanded goals on the season to the Golden Gophers 2. St. Cloud State wins the faceoff and gets an early clear, and they create a turnover. It's Cranola trying to bring it in. Lacombe stops that rush, and now the Gophers have maybe a 3-on-2 brewing. Nyes will dump it in, try and find Snuggerud down low. Bushy fighting with him there. St. Cloud State gets another quick clear. Gophers struggling early on to get offensive zone time. Long stretch pass from Justin Close finds the stick of Logan Cooley, who avoids a check and does not quite avoid a check. Miller with a breakaway chance here. Nyes racing after him. Miller in. Backhand save by Justin Close. He tried to go 5-hole. Close stopped him.
Great job by Justin Close. He keeps the stick there, and now Logan Cooley's taken down. No penalty coming, but Justin Close standing on his head. That's a fantastic controlled save.
That had just what I had alluded to earlier. St. Cloud State plays a risky brand of penalty kill, and they will absolutely get shorthanded chances. Aaron Huglin tried to bring the puck into the zone, and thus far, the Gophers would probably rather be 5-on-5 than on the power play. Luke Middlestat regroups for the Golden Gophers. 48 seconds and counting in the Grant Cruikshank minor. Mike Kester from the defensive position hits the stick of Sahlquist. Luke Middlestat has to regroup all the way back into the Gophers' defensive zone to Kester. Kester into the red line, now dumps it in. Stopped behind the net by Castor. He tries to find an opening. Brodzinski's on it there. Up top to Middlestat. Wanted to shoot, didn't have it. Kester in the center. Kester long shot, that's deflected wide. St. Cloud State gets another clear. Golden Gopher power play has been stifled thus far by St. Cloud State's aggressive penalty kill unit. Ryan Johnson starts the last rush of the power play ahead to Brodzinski on the close boards. Close Brodzinski trying to find somebody down low. St. Cloud State Huskies are full strength. They have confidently killed off their first penalty on the night. Long shot in flutters on Justin Close, and the Gophers create a turnover. Brock Faber restarts from the defensive zone.
That was a great penalty kill by the Huskies.
Nelson down low, tries to find Brodzinski, he scores! Bryce Brodzinski shovels one over the shoulder of Jackson Castor. That was from Jackson Nelson, and the Golden Gophers score the first goal on Castor in almost over 160 minutes.
It's a heater for Bryce Brodzinski. 4 goals in his last roughly 20 minutes of play, Jack.
Unbelievable shot. Found its way over the blocker's side of Jackson Castor on a Nelson feed. Nelson did a really good job just to get it towards the front of the net. Brodzinski was waiting there and flipped it over the blocker's shoulder of Jackson Castor. Brodzinski's 19th on the season, the most seasoned Golden Gopher, playing in his 144th game, assisted by Jackson Nelson, his 16th, and Mason Nevers, his 13th. St. Cloud State won the faceoff, but the Golden Gophers keep it in the offensive zone with Logan Cooley. St. Cloud State now trying to clear and answer the Gophers' early goal. Cranola had a chance. He's tackled down by Brock Faber, and Faber's going to go to the box for holding. He kind of just grabbed Cranola's shoulder and threw him to the ground. And just like that, St. Cloud State has a chance to even it up on the power play.
Yeah, not a great penalty there by Brock Faber. The St. Cloud State Huskies had the puck in the corner. They were trying to work it around, but there was no real threat on net. And in that case, no need to take a penalty. The Huskies have been excellent on the man advantage this season, upwards of 25% conversion rate. We'll see if they can have an impact and tie this game up in just a few moments.
We'll be back in a bit. Golden Gophers get an early goal from Bryce Brodzinski, his 4th of the tournament and 19th on the season. You're listening to Radio K Sports. Welcome back. Golden Gopher hockey will start this brief bit of broadcasting with 12:56 remaining on the penalty kill. One of their better defensive penalty killers, Brock Faber, in the box. 2 minutes for holding. Shots read at this point 8-2 in favor of the Golden Gophers. Scoreboard reads 1-0 as well.
Minnesota on the penalty kill this season, operating at 84%. This is going to be a fun matchup to see what the Golden Gopher defense can do against St. Cloud State's offense, which really has performed very well on the power play like we were discussing before the break. Grant Cruikshank, their top faceoff man to take the draw, is winning over 56% of his faceoffs this season. The St. Cloud team as a whole, very good at the dot.
Cruikshank wins this one back to Wiley at the point. Wiley finds Ingram on the far side. Good stick there by Jackson Nelson. Mason Nevers creates a turnover, and he's got a 1-on-2. Jackson Nelson, latecomer, deflected shot from Nelson. That was a dangerous chance there for the Golden Gophers, but his deflection went wide. Good kill here for the Gophers as Lacombe finds Nevers, and he gets the first official clear of the penalty kill.
Super smart play there by Jackson Nelson. After he got the rebound on his missed shot, instead of trying to fire it on net again, he dumped it all the way back to the Gopher zone where his defensemen were waiting. That took another 10 seconds off.
Chesley tried to find Lacombe on a loose puck in the Gophers' defensive zone, but St. Cloud State comes up with this one. It's Cooper Wiley, the freshman. Shot by Miettinen goes blocked off the body of Jackson Nelson out of the zone. Miettinen finds it on the far side again. Driving in against Nelson. Long shot, that's deflected out front. Left pad save by Justin Close on Kyler Kupka on the rebound. Miettinen finds Ingram along the close boards. Crookshank working his way in towards the circle, looking for a shot there. Up top to Wiley. Wiley back to Ingram. Ingram, Wiley again. Wiley to the far side for a slap shot from Miettinen. That one went wide. Ingram finds Crookshank. That one's deflected out front by Jackson Nelson. Still kept in the zone by Wiley. Ingram underneath. Looks for a rebound and a redirect from Grant Crookshank. Excellent clear there by, I believe that was Aaron Huglin. Gophers needed that clear. They were under fire in their own zone. It's Jack Peart working it up for the Huskies. Drops back for Cranola with speed, and St. Cloud State will be offsides. 13 seconds left in the Faber Minor.
For the first minute 47 of this power play, Jack, I've been very pleased with what I've seen from the Golden Gophers, holding that diamond formation, keeping the puck on the outside, on the perimeter, and not allowing any clean shots in on Justin Close. They even got 2 shot blocks there on that extended rush by the Huskies. That's quality hockey by Minnesota.
And the Golden Gophers win a huge faceoff, get a clear. Penalty ticking down 3, 2, and 1. Faber is out of the box, but St. Cloud State has it in the Gophers' defensive zone. Matthew Nyes wins a puck battle. Johnson finds Cooley. Cooley working in alone, fires. That one's just wide of Jackson Castor. Was deflected there by Jack Peart. St. Cloud State brings it shoots it all the way down to the Gophers' end. No icing, it's waved off. Kester could have gotten there in time. Kester tries to find Nyes on a dump in, but Johnson has to come in for support. Johnson now finds Nyes. Tried to look for Cooley, but it's turned over now. It's Jack Rogers. Missed a pass for Spalacy. Puck just squeaks over the boards into the Gophers tunnel, and we'll have a face-off here at center ice.
Golden Gophers outshooting St. Cloud State 8-3. The Huskies only managed to get 1 shot on Justin Close in that entire 2 minutes. And when you look back at how much time they spent in the offensive end, that just goes to show how strong the Gophers were at preventing quality shot opportunities. Minnesota looks really on their game right now, Jack.
VT Miettinen had a really good opportunity. He had their best opportunity and actually went wide of the net. It was a one-time slap shot that Close had to move from his right to left. Gophers win the faceoff. Brody Lamb trying to shove it alongside St. Cloud State benches. He fights for it there. Huglin finds it in the offensive zone. Up to a long shot from Cal Thomas. That one's knocked down by Castor. Huglin finds it again from Cal Thomas to Faber. Faber wanted to shoot, now does shoot. Long shot. Castor didn't really see it. I think that just squeaked wide. St. Cloud State creates a turnover, and they'll restart with Adam Ingram. Ingram checked from behind by Brody Lamb. No call on the cross check, and now Lamb will start it up. Off the far boards for Pitlick. Pitlick finds Middlestad on a good tap play. Middlestad up the far side. Looking for defensive help as the Gophers are on a change. Middlestad fanned on a dump in. Now Spalacy regroups for St. Cloud State. Puck hits the referee, and St. Cloud State almost into the Gophers' offensive zone, but Gophers create a turnover. It's the fourth line on again. Fourth line looked good in their first shift. They had a couple opportunities, Pinanimi, and now they create a turnover. John Middlestad shot. That one's deflected just wide. Puck is loose in front of the net. No Golden Gophers there. Looked like Castor wanted to cover, and he couldn't quite get his glove down. Middlestad working in the corner against Brendan Bushy. Bushy wins that one and finds Ashawn. Ashawn working across the logo. Ashawn dumps it in. Close stops it behind the net. Backwards pass towards Jackson Lacombe's stick, and he finds Kester. Kester ahead to Nelson. Nelson will dump it in past the St. Cloud State defender. St. Cloud State on it there is Jack Peart, waiting on the NCAA logo, and finds Cranola on the far side, skates, or close side, skates to the far side and dumps it in. Hard hit by Okabe on Brock Faber. That was a clean hit, no call coming from the referees. St. Cloud State, however, puck managed to escape the zone, and Peart has to find his defensive partner, Josh Lidke. Gophers create another turnover. Bouncing puck from Brodzinski. He fires from a sharp angle. Pretty easy save there for Castor. Castor finds Nevers out front. Nevers with another quality chance, but Castor saves it again.
The second line for the Golden Gophers now making a little bit of noise. Jackson Nelson winning the draws. Bryce Brodzinski, he has the game's first goal with a nice backhand pass to set up a close shot from the circle by Mason Nevers. Minnesota with 8:07 left in the first, a really, really dominant start.
We'll go to a period break. 8 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first period. Golden Gophers up 1-0 here in Fargo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Golden Gophers up 1-0. 8:07 remaining in this one. Shots read 10-3 in favor of the Golden Gophers. The winner of this game will go on to play the Boston University Terriers, just beating Cornell 2-1. They did go up 2-0 in that game. Cornell had one goal on the board, but that wasn't enough as St. Cloud State gets a quick chance in with Grant Cruikshank on a deflected shot. That's turned away by Justin Close. Cruikshank on it for St. Cloud State. Bushy over to Trable. Trable finds Cruikshank, and now the puck finds its way on the stick of assistant captain Micah Miller. Bushy keeps it in the zone for St. Cloud State. Dumped it too far past Kyler Kupka. Snuggerud works it ahead. Dumps it over to the far end of the ice where Matthew Nyes is awaiting a rush there. He finds Cooley. Cooley tried to go back to Nyes. Didn't find him there. Nyes tries to take and keep the puck inside the zone. Can't do so. Luke Middlestad will dump it in.
Something that the Golden Gophers are certainly enjoying more about this game than they were against Canisius is how much less physical the Huskies are playing. They are still more aggressive than the Golden Gophers in general, but overall, Minnesota doesn't have to be looking over their shoulder for those open ice hits. They don't have to be concerned about contact after they pass the puck away. It's much more their style of play.
Turnover in the neutral zone created by Aaron Huglin as he works alongside the far boards with Pitlick. Up to the point for Johnson. Johnson will dump it in down low to Brody Lamb. Looks like St. Cloud State player without a stick was Trable. Trable recovers now. And now it's Aaron Huglin alongside the far boards winning a battle. Long shot up top. That's off the blocker of Castor. Faber another shot. That's blocked out front by Mietnin. Mietnin dumped by Pitlick, and Pitlick's going to get called for a penalty. I think that's going to be a holding. Gophers will have their second penalty kill, and St. Cloud State has an opportunity 6-on-5. Pitlick kind of just grabbed, I'm not sure who that might have been, Mietnin behind the net and tackled him. So I think that should be a hold as St. Cloud State tries to create some offense here with the extra skater. Wiley back in the St. Cloud State's defensive zone, can't really get anything organized, and they've just kind of been passing back and forth in the defensive zone. Now Wiley up ahead and touched up by Rhett Pitlick, who will head to the box himself. Golden Gophers' second penalty on the night. Pitlick will go, I think, for holding. 2 minutes for holding Rhett Pitlick.
it's not a great penalty to take by Pitlick. The Golden Gophers are in their offensive end, and Miettinen skating behind the net. Pitlick makes original contact with him, and it's fine, but then he holds that contact and drives him along the boards, not allowing him to play the puck. It's an easy call right in front of the official, and one that's really not necessary.
Yeah, that's 2 unnecessary penalties for the Golden Gophers early on here, and if you give St. Cloud State enough opportunities just based on percentages, they're going to score sometime. Crookshank against Nelson. Be really, really awesome if Nelson could win it, and he doesn't. Wiley over to Miettinen, slap shot. That's blocked by Mason Nevers. Had to put the body on the line for a one-timer.
And that stung Mason Nevers. He's barely putting weight on one leg.
And meanwhile, Jackson Lacombe gets the Golden Gophers' first clear of the penalty kill. Now Huglin and Nyes alongside Chesley and Lacombe as Wiley races into the Golden Gophers' defensive zone. Reverse hits Chesley down on his backside. Wiley tried to handle it. Now Ingram working his way in. Miettinen, another slap shot. Blocker saved by Justin Close, and another clear from Lacombe. Lacombe finds Nyes down on the far boards, shorthanded. He does have the Golden Gophers. Only 2 shorthanded goals. Tried to find Huglin out front. Huglin just missed a deflection. Okabe was playing defense on Huglin. Gophers almost had their 3rd shorty of the year.
The Huskies had Nyes in a straitjacket there. 3 guys on 1, and he somehow escaped with the puck in tow. Unbelievable skating by Matthew Nyes and a great setup opportunity.
St. Cloud State resets. 53 seconds left in Pitlick's penalty. Cranola up top. And now down low, it's Meyer. Back up to Peart. Peart back to Cranola. Cranola to Peart again. To Cranola. Fans on the one-timer. He's really loves that one-timer. Cranola trying to keep it in the zone and does so. Nelson knocks it off the stick of Sahlquist. Lacombe holding for a bit. And now finds Brody Lamb, and he gets a clear. 20 seconds left. Now in Pitlick's penalty, it's Nyes and Huglin with Lacombe and Chesley. St. Cloud State cleanly into the Gophers' end. Sahlquist alongside the close boards, hounded there by Chesley and Nyes. Battle for it along the boards, won by Matthew Nyes, and he'll work up with Huglin. Penalty expiring in 5 seconds. Drive pass to Huglin, tried to find Nyes across. And Minnesota is full strength, a much more effective penalty kill than the last one. Did not spend nearly as much time in their own zone.
Absolutely, very clean. St. Cloud State struggled to get anything set up inside their own blue line, and Minnesota even formulated a chance in the offensive end.
Minnesota, a turnover, scramble for it. Rogers was taken down by Ryan Chesley, and Jackson Lacombe couldn't corral a loose puck, and Chesley and Lacombe have been on the ice for almost 2.5 minutes now. They definitely need a change. Lacombe gets blasted into the boards by Rogers, and now Chesley, stretch pass for Cooley through him. Now to Cooley, tool drag, shot, what a save. Jackson Castor couldn't even tell where it was on Logan Cooley, and an excellent move. Luke Middlestad with a shot from the point, that's blocked. Cal Thomas, long shot, that whistles wide. Gophers starting to create some offensive zone pressure again, coming off of the penalty kill. Ashawn on it there for St. Cloud State. Finds Meyer behind the net. Meyer now to Reiners. Cooley out front, couldn't find anyone. Snuggerud shot, right pad saved by Castor. Cal Thomas up top. Middlestat one-timer, left pad saved by Castor. Great screen out front by Cooley. Luke Middlestat, Cal Thomas out up top. Shot deflected up into the netting. St. Cloud State was under siege there in their defensive zone.
That was the best push that the Golden Gophers have had all game, working the puck around, and eventually they just started shooting from the point. A couple good looks, and Castor was just up to the challenge. He's been really sharp to start this game. The Golden Gophers are going to have to continue peppering the net in order to mount a 2-goal lead.
2:23 remaining in the first period. Still score reads 1-0 Golden Gophers after the second penalty kill of the night. You're watching Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Welcome back to Golden Gopher hockey. Still holding a lead of the narrowest of margins, 1-0. They're up in the shot department 13-5, but that's nothing new for St. Cloud State. They got outshot by 9 by Minnesota State. I think they had around 23 shots. Minnesota State had 32, but they won 4-0. So they're not a team that just tries to chuck pucks on net. They're a team that tries to get the quality opportunities to bury the goal differentials.
That's a good point, Jack. And some stats don't always tell the whole story. Shots on goal are a fairly good representation of which team is performing better, but sometimes you need to look at scoring chances. In this game, the Gophers have by far the better scoring chances, and they're up 8 in shots on goal.
Gophers won the faceoff, but it briefly exited their zone, and now St. Cloud State regroups. Brendan Bushy ahead to second-line left winger Kyler Kupka. He loses a battle there to Kester. Now Brodzinski. Long pass for Nevers. He is luckily not permanently hobbled by that one-timer shot block off the stick of VT Miettinen. St. Cloud State restarts an offensive possession. Up here from Josh Lidke. Now to Miettinen, long shot. Easy glove save from Justin Close.
It's a good look by Miettinen trying to pick that top right corner. Justin Close had no one in front of him and was easily able to snare it.
Miettinen on the power play almost sets up like Alex Ovechkin, except the other handedness. Miettinen a lefty, Ovechkin a righty. So he sets up on the far circle from our vantage point and just looks for those one-timers. Couldn't quite get one of them through to Justin Close. Golden Gophers win the faceoff. Ryan Johnson ahead to Jimmy Snuggerud, racing up the far side 2-on-2. He's taken into the boards but retains the puck, now finds Cooley on the close board. Snuggerud with a one-time opportunity from Cooley. Another chance from Snuggerud, that one whistles wide. Faber keeps it in, now down low. Can't find Nyes or Snuggerud underneath, and St. Cloud State tries to get it out, but Faber keeps it in. Faber down low again, a minute left in the first period. That's been generally a good one for the Golden Gophers. High stick played by Logan Cooley, I believe. And this faceoff will come outside the Golden Gophers offensive zone. Almost a good chance there on a keep in from Brock Faber. Tried to find Cooley down low. Pass didn't connect, and St. Cloud State played it well. They may have had a chance to over pursue there and given the Golden Gophers an opportunity. Huglin, Pitlick, and Brody Lamb, the line out there for the Golden Gophers. It's Crookshank, Miller, and Kupka out there for St. Cloud State. Miller at the far red line, wraps it in. Justin Close tries to stop it there for Chesley, who's battling with Crookshank. Huglin wins a puck battle and finds Rhett Pitlick on the far side. Not before Brendan Bushy got there, but now Chesley comes up with a loose puck. Chesley clears the zone back to Bushy. Bushy to Trable. Trable listed as the second tallest starter, 6'3" senior. Spilacci avoids a hit from Brody Lamb, and now battling with Chesley underneath. Miller up top to the point for Lidke. Now to Peart. Peart back to Lidke. Lidke tried to find Peart underneath. Pass didn't connect, but now it's Spilacci. 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it for the first period. Golden Gophers ahead in the shot column, 14-6, but more might be a trend to keep an eye on as the game goes on. Golden Gophers down on the faceoff dot, 12-4.
I was just about to mention that, Jack. I was going to say, heading to the locker room, Minnesota should be thrilled with how those first 20 minutes of hockey went. The only thing that they can improve are the faceoffs. But remember, a lot of times faceoffs come down to maturity and understanding how to best take a draw. Minnesota has a lot of young centermen. Logan Cooley, John Middlestat, Aaron Huglin are all in their freshman and sophomore years. So certainly an edge for St. Cloud State there. But in every other aspect of this game, the Golden Gophers have been on top of the Huskies without question.
Yeah, Grant Crookshank is 7 of 8 on the faceoff dot, and the Golden Gophers' best faceoff man, Jackson Nelson, only 1 of 7. So struggle for Jackson Nelson early on here in this one. We'll head to the first intermission break and be back a little bit early before the second period to recap the first and tell you what to look forward to in the second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Golden Gopher Hockey. Golden Gophers up top, 1-0 after one. Quick shout out to the Golden Gopher baseball team. They picked up their 5th win on the season against Creighton. In Creighton, got rescheduled actually to Omaha after Minnesota's field was pretty much not done thawing. George Clausen had another excellent start. Got through 6 innings in just 61 pitches. Allowed 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the Gophers won 3-0. Over to Jason for a quick recap of what was a very, very solid first period for the Golden Gophers.
1-0 Minnesota. The Golden Gophers got an even strength goal via Bryce Brodzinski. Assists go to Jackson Nelson and Mason Nevers. It was a strong rush from the Golden Gophers. A pass dropped back in front, and then a shot over the shoulder of Castor. Brodzinski has his 4th in 2 games. The one thing that the Golden Gophers could have improved on in that period, Jack, aside from face-offs, which we talked about heading into the break, were the penalties. Grant Cruikshank took the first penalty of the game for the Huskies. The Golden Gophers were unable to convert on the power play. But then after that, Brock Faber and Rhett Pitlick both picked up holding penalties. Fairly uncharacteristic for the Golden Gophers to have those 2 guys in the box and also to have 2 penalties in a period. Minnesota has one of the lowest penalty per game rates in the nation, averaging just over 6 minutes a game. So the fact that they had 2 in 20 minutes was a little bit concerning because it is against their identity. Especially at this point in the tournament, these teams really need to play identity-based hockey. You need to know who's going to pick you up when you're in trouble. You need to know what your game plan is, and you can't stride from that too much. The Gophers taking those unnecessary penalties is something to watch out for as the game goes on.
And I like what you said there by unnecessary, because St. Cloud, it's not like St. Cloud State beat them with their speed, got around them. The Gophers needed to take a penalty to avoid a high danger chance. It's that St. Cloud State was just kind of playing as normal, and the Golden Gophers, both Pitlick and Faber, had penalties basically away from the player in a non-high danger opportunity scoring chance. So not great penalties. St. Cloud State does average 9.36 penalty minutes per game, which is more than the Gophers. But we'll see how that trend continues with the second period coming up. As I said earlier, Gophers ahead in the shot column 14-6. That's some of the higher numbers that they've put up all season. And they've been working really, really well in the offensive zone, especially in the mid part of that period after the power play. They had a couple stretches where they were in St. Cloud State's zone for almost a minute, at least.
Absolutely right, Jack, but you can be assured that St. Cloud State went to the locker room and made some immediate adjustments. They have a fantastic coach in Brett Larson. He took over after Bob Motzko departed St. Cloud State for the University of Minnesota, and he's the fastest skipper in St. Cloud State history to reach 100 wins. He hit that mark in February. You don't become that successful without making those quick adjustments during the intermission, and they benefited from slightly longer in the locker room than they would during the regular season, giving them some extra time to game plan. The second, the Golden Gophers need to come out skating just as fast as they did in the first. Otherwise, St. Cloud State can turn this game on its head in a blink.
They easily have the ability to do that. Gophers were shut out in the first meeting 3-0 in St. Cloud State, and then won the second meeting at home in Minnesota 2-1 in overtime. So no regulation victories for the Golden Gophers yet against this St. Cloud State squad. We haven't mentioned the jerseys yet. Golden Gophers still wearing their home whites, and St. Cloud State wearing all black. Black tops, black breezers, black helmets.
Really good jersey matchup. Both teams have very clean uniforms.
Yeah, Jason and I did determine that we liked St. Cloud State's Husky logo rather than their CST, kind of Montreal Canadiens-esque logo, as the Golden Gophers win the face-off. And back into their own defensive zone goes Mike Kester, tried to find Jackson Nelson on a stretch pass. Josh Lidke restarts and finds his defensive partner Jack Peart, who dumps it in. Peart finds Miller out front on a wraparound chance. Miller, another save by Justin Close off the stick of Lidke. Close tested early on in the period with a solid blocker save. St. Cloud State keeping it in the zone. Trable tried to hold it in for a second for St. Cloud State, is unable to do so, and instead will dump it in. St. Cloud State finishes a change. Turnover by Bryce Brodzinski. St. Cloud State tried to find Cranola out front. Puck was way up in the air. Couldn't quite see it. And now Matthew Nyes ahead. 2-on-2 with Brodzinski. Nelson, late comer. Glove save by Castor.
Good job by Minnesota there, flipping the ice really, really quickly. 2 offensive zone turnovers led to a couple good chances for the Huskies, but the Gophers get the puck back. They get it to Matthew Nyes. Nice drop pass to Jackson Nelson, and a quality shot on net to Tess Castor as he starts the second.
Cooley against Spalacy. Cooley and Spalacy draw early. Referee says timeout. Cooley only 1 for 5 on the dot, and that's going to be 1 for 6 as Spalacy beats him again. But Nyes comes up with a tough work rebound. Snuggerud up top. Faber with a long shot. No traffic in front of Castor, and he easily saves that one right off the center of his pads.
Golden Gophers starting out hot. Even though they're not necessarily winning the draws, Jack, their forecheck is so good, and they've been playing so strong in their offensive zone in this game that it's going to give St. Cloud State fits as they go on. It's going to cause fatigue, it's going to cause frustration, and that's something that the Golden Gophers will be able to take advantage of, as we saw in the Canisius game.
Cooley against Cruikshank on this faceoff to Castor's right on the close side. Both Cooley and Cruikshank left-handed. Cooley wins this one cleanly, but it comes out of the zone just past the stick of Ryan Johnson, who finds Faber. Faber back to Johnson, retreating into the Gophers' defensive zone. Now finds Faber. Faber up ahead, long pass. Cooley touches to Nyes. Nyes tries to fight his way around Cruikshank. Cruikshank played that well. Clearly the smaller of the 2 players. And we have I think we have a penalty here for interference against Matthew Nyes.
Nyes can't believe it. He's talking to the official, and a lot of these fans didn't see it. They thought that there was an offsides call as the puck was right on the blue line. They're surprised to see Nyes sitting in the box.
And this is exactly what we did not want to see. The Golden Gophers going on the penalty kill again here early on. I thought that was going to be a slashing. I saw a St. Cloud State player's stick fly out of his hands. Nonetheless, Nyes in the box, and he is one of their better penalty killers. To start this one, it's going to be Nelson against Sahlquist, and Sahlquist wins that one back to Peart. Peart finds Meyer, now down low to Okabe. Okabe tried to find Sahlquist, nothing going there. They ring it around the boards for Cranola. St. Cloud State does shuffle their lines on the power play a little bit. Shot out front there from Spalacy, trickles wide. Peart up top. Cranola, one-timer from that Ovechkin slot. Shoulder save by Justin Close, and Nevers with the clear.
It's a huge save by Justin Close. He watched that puck all the way in, didn't have time to get his blocker up, so instead stood up as tall as he could and shouldered that thing into the corner.
Okabe in quickly. His shot's deflected off the stick of Lacombe. Now it's Sahlquist underneath. Up top for Peart. Peart tried to find Cranola. He slipped. And Chesley will ring it all the way around the boards for a Golden Gopher clear. Aaron Huglin into St. Cloud State's defensive zone to put some pressure on Castor, who handles it cleanly. Peart restarts an offensive possession. 55 seconds left in the Nyes minor. Pass from Kupka to Peart. Peart was going off in a change, didn't see it. Kupka will restart. Kupka back for his defensive partner, Wiley. Mietinen, excuse me. Shot from Cruikshank, that's blocked again, Jackson Nelson. I think that might be his 3rd block of the game. He's stood up big here on the penalty kill. Ingram on the far side. Up top for Wiley. Wiley back to Ingram. Ingram fires and he scores. Adam Ingram, the freshman, with his 8th on the season. St. Cloud State evens it up on the power play.
A nice wrister there from Adam Ingram. Gets the puck from the point, walks into the far circle and goes low glove side on Justin Close, who didn't have much of a chance as he was playing at the top of his crease. I believe he snuck that one in between the glove and the leg pad of Close, and all of a sudden we're knotted up at 1. But it just goes back to the penalty by Matthew Nyes. You can't take those, especially in the neutral zone. Matthew Nyes has to realize that his presence on the ice is so important, that playing smart hockey needs to be priority number 1 for him. Gophers have taken 3 penalties. St. Cloud State has only taken 1. And Minnesota is now
Oh, and they have
tied.
another penalty off the face-off draw. Logan Cooley again talking to the ref. Cooley this time will go to the box. Golden Gophers immediately find themselves back on the penalty kill. Cooley's going for a slash. This is very undisciplined hockey from a Golden Gopher squad who has been very disciplined the whole year.
And it's very uncharacteristic. You rarely see the Golden Gophers take this many penalties, and you rarely see them do it in such quick fashion. If they're going to take the penalties, a lot of times they're spread out. We just saw a replay of the Cooley penalty. There's no need for that. It was after the face-off, which he lost, and he just jabbed the St. Cloud State centerman in a place where you don't want to be jabbed.
No.
Truthfully,
that was Cranola.
He's lucky that wasn't an unsportsmanlike conduct.
St. Cloud State wins the face-off. Nelson gets the hand of Mettinen. Mettinen was looking for another slashing call. Doesn't get it this time. St. Cloud State fans were right in front of that one. St. Cloud State working into the offensive zone again. Their 4th power play. They're already 1 for 3, just having recently scored. Cranola on the close boards. Cranola up top to Wiley. Wiley trying to work in for a shot. Does not see anything. Wiley at the point over to Ingram. Ingram fires again. Saved by Close. Deflects out of play.
Huskies clearly targeting that low glove side on Justin Close. On this penalty as well, they're getting the puck to the far circle and trying to send it across the net mouth onto that glove side of Close. The Golden Gophers right now are frustrated, Jack. Right after Logan Cooley took that penalty, you saw Matthew Nye skate right over to the official, continuing to gripe, probably still about his penalty, and now the one to Logan Cooley. But all of the penalties, I think, that have been called in this game have been accurate. The officials are doing a really nice job. The Golden Gophers just need to clean it up.
Gophers win the faceoff. Attempted clear from Ryan Johnson goes nowhere, and St. Cloud State creates a turnover. Up top for Peart. Now he finds Okabe on the far side. Okabe working in. Back up top to Peart for a slap shot. That's blocked by Aaron Huglin, and now a one-on-one for Huglin. He's satisfied to just skate, check up at the blue line, and dump it in. 53 seconds left on the Cooley minor. Gophers are going to be playing a little tired here. It's not quite the 5-minute major that Canisius suffered, but they're still going to be playing with some tired men. St. Cloud State into the zone quickly. Lacombe tried to force a turnover, but Sahlquist comes up with a rebound. Cranola to Peart. Peart with a long shot. That's kicked out by the right pad of Justin Close. Peart on the left wing corner now, working his way in. That shot's deflected by Jackson Nelson's stick. Puck now worked around to Cranola. Cranola up top for Meyer. Meyer working his way in on the far side. Down low now, up top to Peart. Peart to Cranola. That's another blocked shot from Jackson Lacombe. He gets to clear. That'll expire the penalty kill.
That is a tremendous block shot by Jackson Lacombe. That puck was burning through the air to the top right corner, and I don't know if Close would have been able to get across in time had Lacombe not gotten in the way.
St. Cloud State quickly ahead, but the Gophers start a rush. It's Cooley to Snuggerud, back to Cooley. Toe drags around a man, backhand, shoulder saved by Castor and holds on. That was an excellent play by Cooley out of the box. He was not happy and made a good play on the puck. We'll have our first period break, 14-27. St. Cloud State has evened it up on Adam Ingram's 8th of the season. Assists from freshman Cooper Wiley and Golden Gopher veteran Grant Crookshank. We'll be back here in a bit on Radio K Sports. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a tie game, 1-1, 14.5 remaining in the second. I'll hand it off to Jason for play-by-play duties at the next period break after the halfway point. Light is still on. This happened a couple times yesterday where the teams were ready and lined up for the face-off, but the TVs weren't ready to restart broadcasting. This time they are. The light is off, and now the referee's ready to drop the puck. It's Cruikshank against Cooley. Snuggerud was working his way in early. Referee saw it, delayed. And Cruikshank wins it back towards St. Cloud State, but the Gophers are on it first with Snuggerud. St. Cloud State comes up with a loose puck. It's Miller working his way up. Now with Kupka. Kupka tries to get a puck past Lacombe and Kester. Kester tries to find Snuggerud. Long stretch pass ahead. Logan Cooley in on a break. Logan Cooley scores! Logan Cooley on the stretch pass from Mike Kester. Just out of the box, he redeems the penalty. Golden Gophers up 2-1.
That's a dirty move by Logan Cooley. Backhand, forehand, and then Kester's expecting him to try and roof that thing, go bar down, sneaks it right past the leg pad and in the corner. Minnesota has a 2-1 lead. Jack, something I was thinking about during the break is that the Golden Gophers, without question, have been the better team at 5-on-5. If they can stay out of the box, this game certainly looks like it'll be theirs. They proved it at that moment.
Logan Cooley's 20th goal on the season and team leading 56th, but St. Cloud stayed in quickly off the faceoff. Deflected shot gloved by Justin Close. It's Logan Cooley. Assist only to, it was Jackson Lacombe on that stretch pass. His defenseman leading 26th assist on the season. What a pass too from Jackson Lacombe. Saw Cooley streaking towards the other end. I think Nyes was with him after the Golden Gophers won a puck battle alongside their own boards. That's happened a couple times this season. Didn't happen in the last game at all with the long stretch pass and breakaway, but Cooley makes no mistake, goes 5-hole on Castor.
That's a perfect pass. Tape to tape, puck not rolling at all. Logan Cooley had to do no work to settle that thing down. All he had to worry about was out skating the defenders behind him and putting a nice move on Castor to put Minnesota up 2-1.
Nelson against Spilacci. Nelson loses the draw in a blocked shot out front. St. Cloud State now working again in the Gophers' defensive zone. Turnover here created by Mason Nevers. Brodzinski gets it back to him on the far side. Nevers is plastered. No call coming from the referee. I don't know where that one was.
Nevers slow to get up there again.
Faber with a shot from the point. That one whistles wide. Nevers has been beat up in this game. Took a hard one-time slap shot to the shin and looks like he took a hit up high on that one. St. Cloud State in the neutral zone. Rogers battling down low with, not sure who else. We don't have a great angle on. It looks like he was fighting with Faber. Faber wins that, and now Johnson on the NCAA logo behind the Gophers net. Ahead to Pitlick. Pitlick dumps it around Bushy, but Trable is back there to get it, and he finds Bushy on the close side. Bushy ahead to Okabe. Okabe over now to Trable. Trable to Mietinen. Mietinen, shot deflected off the stick, just whistles high of the head of Justin Close. Scrum for it alongside the close boards. Won by St. Cloud State, but puck exited the zone. Mietinen on it there, back to Bushy. Bushy to Wiley on the close side. Wiley plays catch with Bushy.
Now you can hear the Let's Go Gophers chants coming in. This crowd, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, I would venture to guess it's about 80-20 Minnesota fans.
They do have the longer trip, but they also have the bigger school. Gophers create a turnover. Brody Lamb racing in. Lamb on the backhand, deflected out front by Bushy, was trying to find Huglin on the tuck-in. Lamb lays a heavy hit behind the play along at Kranola. Kranola finds Okabe. Okabe down low for Kupka, past him and past Chesley. It's up to the point for Wiley. Long shot, deflected down by Brody Lamb. Nyes on it now. Nyes fakes a pass and now does get it to Kester. Kester long stretch ahead to Huglin, who deflects it in. Full wholesale line change for the Golden Gophers. St. Cloud State will begin again with Kupka. Kupka to Miller. Miller with a long shot. That's deflected by Chesley. Cooley on it now. Cooley ahead to Snuggerud, just too far for him. Peart on it for St. Cloud State. Peart racing in with some speed from the defenseman position. Good play by Snuggerud catching up to him. Now Snuggerud trying to go skate to stick and find Cooley, doesn't do so, and Peart winds up with it again now to Crookshank. Crookshank far across the boards to Kupka. Kupka tried to find Crookshank on this far boards. Long sharp angle shot, easily turned and covered by Justin Close.
Just about 9 minutes into period 2, and the play has certainly leveled out a little bit here, Jack. Some more consistent offensive zone time for the Huskies. The Golden Gophers applying good pressure, but just not able to break out as much as they had been. Shots on goal favor St. Cloud State in this period. 6-4, Minnesota up overall.
18-12, it does read. It's Nelson against Sahlquist. Nelson wins that. Ryan Johnson starts another Golden Gopher offensive push. It's Nevers to Nelson, who dumps it into the zone. The tallest overall line for the Golden Gophers tonight, the Nevers, Nelson, Brodzinski line that's been together all season. St. Cloud State creates a turnover, and Sahlquist deflects it into the zone. Johnson finds Faber in the close corner. Faber looking for a chance. St. Cloud State with a quick chance out front on a turnover. Sahlquist sent it wide on a deflection. Almost a pinch in there. Looked like that was number 20, Jack Rogers. Now Bushy at the point. Bushy walks in. That's another block from Jackson Nelson. He's got to have 4 on the night. Up top for Bushy. Long one-time slap shot from Ingram with the goal. Whistles high. St. Cloud State does try a lot of one-timers. Just comparatively, I'm not sure I've seen the Gophers attempt one of them yet. Ryan Johnson trying to get the Gophers out of their own zone. St. Cloud State with some good extended zone time. Nelson knocks over number 11, Ashawn, pretty easily. Ashawn only listed at 5'11", Nelson at 6'4". Gophers clear the zone briefly, but Spalacy up quickly. Okabe to the far side for Ashawn. Pass couldn't connect. Underneath, Lacombe wins a battle against Spalacy. Tried to find Lamb. Lamb was tied up alongside the boards. Now Faber finds it back to Lacombe. Lacombe spins away from Okabe. Lacombe still battling Okabe coming up the offensive zone. Lacombe known to do that more, and especially when he's healthy, loves to skate the puck into the zone, which is great offensively for the Golden Gophers. St. Cloud State stretch pass to Cranola. Cranola walks in, tried to find Okabe out front, was a little too far off his stick. Huglin down low for Lacombe. Lacombe back to Cal Thomas. Now to Huglin alongside the close board. Stretch pass right on the tape of Brody Lamb. Flips it in past Peart. Brody Lamb on it there quickly. Now finds Pitlick. Pitlick tried to find Logan Cooley crashing the net. Didn't find anything. Kester wraps it in off the boards. Now Cooley on it alongside the far boards. Cooley makes a good move. Cooley in, tried to look for a wraparound, but there was nothing there. Cooley still working with the puck. Now down low to Snuggerud. Snuggerud back to Cooley up top. Cooley long shot. Not seen very well by Castor. Tried to catch it, but missed. St. Cloud State on it. Cooley back to Chesley, and now Kester. Kester with the wrister. That one's blocked by Jack Peart. Down low, Snuggerud. Up top, Cooley. Really great zone time here for the Golden Gophers, but no grade A chances. Kester with a long shot, blockered out by Castor. Chesley tried to find Cooley, denies out front. St. Cloud State clears the zone briefly. They can't get a change on a good play from Kester. Kester with a long shot. Castor will cover, and we'll get a period break. 8 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the second period. Gophers, Logan Cooley with his 20th on the season. Solo assist to Jackson Lacombe, his 26th assist. We'll head to a break, and Jason will take over play-by-play duties when we return. Anyways,
Welcome back, hockey fans. If you're just joining us, I'm Jason Ruttman. Next to me is Jack Bartlett. We're coming to you live from Shields Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. It's the regional championship game, and with 8 minutes left in the second, the Golden Gophers have a 2-1 lead, courtesy of Logan Cooley, who scored on a breakaway opportunity. Face-off draw coming up to the right of Jackson Kester, the senior netminder from Phoenix, Arizona. Gophers send out their fourth line. It's John Middlestat to take the draw, and Cruikshank beats him there. Up around the boards, Kyler Kupka will forward it a little too far for Grant Cruikshank and chased down by Luke Middlestat. Now over to Jackson Lacombe. He's pinned, and the Gophers have it deep in their own defensive zone. Cruikshank trying to work it out to the wing, able to do so successfully. Micah Miller from the point, quick shot into the glove of Justin Close.
good save there by Close. Looks like he bobbled it briefly off his chest, but was able to corral it with his glove. Still on the face-off dot, Gophers really struggling. 9 of 28. St. Cloud State up 19-9 on the face-off dot. Cruikshank 9 of 13. Cranola 5 of 6. Salquist 3 of 6. There's nobody on the Gophers who's better than Middlestat at 1 of 2 for 50%.
It'll be Jackson Nelson to take the draw to the right of Justin Close, and he wins it back. The Huskies keep it in momentarily. Brodzinski poking at it. He gets it on the far boards and will work it free. Dumped all the way down. Is it going to get on net? It will not. Icing against Minnesota.
That was a few inches away from hitting the stick of Jackson Kester. Faceoff will come again to Justin Close's right, his blocker side.
Jack, something else I wanted to point out. You were calling all the Golden Gopher block shots. They already have 14 in this game. On the season, they barely average more than 10.
They didn't have too many even against Canisius. I think they only have 9 all game. Canisius had almost 20.
Huskies win the draw. Quick shot blocked, and now back to the point for Peart. He gives it across to Meyer, who sends it off the end boards in front for a cover by Justin Close.
Smartly played there by Close. Laid his stick down to prevent that from bouncing out into the slot. And able to get another quick cover. 7:17 remaining in period 2 now. A couple quick face-offs here for St. Cloud State as Close is covering the puck whenever he can. Yeah, 14 blocks. I'm not sure we get specific player blocks on our excellent statistics site here. I don't think we do, but I would assume Jackson Nelson has at least 4 of those.
Okabe tries a shot. That never got through. Another chance. Miettinen fires high. Puck out of play off the boards.
That was off the crossbar, I think. Miettinen found a pinball puck bouncing from side to side. Just took a one-timer from the top of the circle. That's really his spot, and I think that beat Close off the crossbar. Gophers catch a break.
Another defensive zone draw for Minnesota. This time it'll be Yami Kranala for the Huskies to take it. Squares off against Logan Cooley, and Cooley knocks it ahead to Kester. Mike Kester leaves the Minnesota zone and will get it ahead to Nyes, who's cut off. Kept in by Snuggerud. Snuggerud holds, whiffs on one shot, trying to get it in deep. Matthew Nyes picks it up, breaks to his backhand towards the far boards, outskates one man, walks to the slot, fires that shot high of the bar by about 6 inches. Okabe stretch past that one too far for Kranala, and it'll be picked up by alternate captain Jackson Lacombe. Lacombe to his defensive partner Kester. Kester cross-ice pass to Nyes, and Nyes couldn't get it to Cooley. It's Bushy in the corner. He'll rotate it around the boards and now out of the zone. Adam Ingram, the Nashville Predators prospect, starts back the other way. He has a pass blocked by Ryan Chesley, and Minnesota 2-on-2 back. This one goes all the way down over the stick of Huglin for icing.
That would have been a good play. Huglin may have been able to work his way free. Mason Reiners was on him, but was half a step behind. And the Golden Gophers will have another face-off to close his right. Goldie saying hi to Jason and I up here in the broadcast booth. Always good to see him wandering around and good to see him making the trip.
Golden Gophers had the entire circus here. They got the band, they got the skaters, the players, all the staff everyone watching to see if Minnesota can make their second consecutive Frozen Four. They win a draw and break it out. Matthew Nyes, he has Cooley, chance in front, and couldn't get there. And pardon me, that was Hughlin. Penalty coming up against the Huskies, as I believe that was a hook.
That was an excellent chance. Diving defenseman back was Mason Reiners, able to force Nyes to lift it a little higher than he would have liked. That'll penalty will go against number 15, the assistant captain, Micah Miller. 2 minutes for a hook. Good call, Jason.
So the Golden Gophers will have their second man advantage opportunity of the game. Could not convert back in the first period. They'll send out Aaron Hughlin to take the draw against Grant Cruikshank.
First power play really struggled to get going and start with zone time, but they win a faceoff.
Middlestat with it on the near boards. Back to the point for Kester. Now over to Brodzinski. He gives it back to Kester. Brodzinski, top of the far circle, in the slot for Nevers, and tap back out to Mike Kester. Kester, Brodzinski fires, shot deflected out of play.
St. Cloud State, just in this brief zone time here, they're really aggressive on the puck. Whoever has the puck, they're sending 2 guys at them.
There's an upside and a downside to that, and that's reflected in the statistics. In one sense, their penalty kill is not particularly good at just over 76%. On the flip side, they have 8 shorthanded goals and nearly got a 9th back in the first. Another draw for Aaron Hughlin, another win for Aaron Hughlin, but it's quickly picked up by Mason Selquist and taken into the neutral zone. He flips it in. Giving chase is Luke Middlestat. Middlestat will drop it back for Kester, who's behind the net of Close, and will begin the ascent up ice. Kester leaves for Middlestat. Middlestat across to Hughlin, and the Gophers enter with Brodzinski. Weird bounce off the boards. A chance in front for Nevers. He couldn't get his stick on it, and the puck cleared into the Gopher bench. It's Jack Peart with the nice stick.
It's interesting here, the Golden Gophers switching it up a bit on the power play. They're putting 2 defensemen in the game, which they typically don't do. And now going to the first power play unit of the Nyes, Snuggerud, Cooley, Nelson, Lacombe group. But I think because St. Cloud State's so good shorthanded and they like to create opportunities, Gophers elect to put 2 defensemen out to start.
Minnesota wins the neutral zone draw. It's Snuggerud with it, crosses the solid red line, and enters over the blue. Bushy with the puck, flings it around behind his net. That'll go all the way down, Close out to play it. Forehand pass to Jackson Lacombe, who stands at the goal line extended, and now Logan Cooley with speed takes it through the neutral zone, couldn't control, and Cruikshank picks it up. Good check by Jackson Lacombe with the stick, and it's another turnover. Matthew Nyes sprints in, shielding the puck with his arm, and he will get it to Snuggerud. Snuggerud can't hold, cleared about 160 feet by the Huskies.
Really, again, struggling to enter the offensive zone with the aggressive Huskies penalty kill. They do send 1 man up and then have the 2 defensive men on the line. And they get another clear here quickly.
Not a clean entry for Jackson Lacombe as he tried to get the puck over to Matthew Nyes, and so Brock Faber has to chase that one down.
Penalty expiring, just 5 seconds left, so it looks like the Gophers will go 0 for 2.
Snuggerud into the zone. Minnesota looking to get an offensive zone look here as Micah Miller returns from the sin bin. Quick turnover and the puck back in neutral. Flipped in to Jack Peart, skating backwards. Hounded by Logan Cooley, turned over, Brody Lamb on it, and Cooley gets it back. Centers, and it goes all the way through to Ryan Johnson. Across the blue line, a long shot is gloved to the side by Kester. That was off the stick of Brock Faber, and now taken ahead by Miller. Miller will backhand it in. Close will ring it around the boards. Held in by Okabe, and now flicked all the way out. Brody Lamb giving chase, but won't beat out Andre Trable. An opportunity in front. A quick shot from Pitlick, and that goes high. Brody Lamb with some fabulous forechecking set it up, but Pitlick had the puck rolling off of his stick, and it went high and out of play.
Pitlick kind of had to adjust with his left-handed shot. Had he been a righty there, he would have been able to rifle that one on net, but had to get around the puck to get to his forehand and wasn't able to do so, and kind of had to awkwardly ended up shelving it over the net.
3:13 left in the second. We'll take another quick break on Radio K Sports. Welcome back. Golden Gophers holding on to a 2-1 lead with a chance to go to Tampa Bay in 2 weeks on the line. Frozen Four games will be played on April 6th and then the championship on April 8th. Minnesota wins the draw. Ryan Johnson tries a shot, that one wide left, and it'll be scooped up by VT Miettinen, who reverses course, avoids Rhett Pitlick, and gets it across to Brendan Bushy. Bushy flips it off the glass. That one stays in play, and they battle for it in the neutral zone. Finally sent in deep and picked up by Brock Faber. He rallies it around the boards but can't clear the zone. Chance in front, Justin Close with a kick save, and it's sent into the corner by Pitlick. Weird bounce off the boards there. Another quick shot from distance. That one saved by Close. Couldn't control the rebound and held in by Bushy. Now the Golden Gophers will force it out. Rhett Pitlick with some good back checking there to do so. Settled down by Faber in the defensive end. Stretch pass is chipped up into the air and punched through the legs of Kyler Kupka by Brody Lamb, but Minnesota gives up possession. This one sent all the way down off the boards, and it'll go for icing against the Huskies.
Brody Lamb's been having him a solid game. Does not have anything yet registered on the stat sheet, but he's been all over the puck, had a chance down here, and even had a couple offensive zone chances on that last shift. He's done really well moving up with Huglin and Pitlick, who are used to being with Connor Kurth. 6'1", 175-pound freshman from Byron, Minnesota, New York Rangers prospect. In 36 games played, 4 goals, 4 assists.
Had one of those goals in Fargo just 2 days ago on Thursday as part of the Gophers' 9-goal outburst against the Canisius Golden Griffins. That sent him to this game, and the Huskies will win the draw as play resumes. Just over 2 minutes left in the middle frame. Jackson Nelson sends a Husky into the boards, and the Gophers get the puck back. Sent through the neutral zone onto the stick of Jack Peart, and now Lacombe takes it right back. Dumped in, the Golden Gophers content to hold the line as St. Cloud State passes it around in their defensive end. A little bit of pressure applied by Mason Nevers as Peart surveys, and now Nevers knocks Peart down, but he somehow retains possession of the puck. Around the boards, Logan Cooley has it, tries a long shot, that never got through. Jackson Nelson in the curvature of the boards near side, gets it behind the net, and now they'll poke at it. Mason Nevers goes against, I believe that's Josh Lidke. Brodzinski gets it, backhanded to Nevers. Nevers is stuck behind the red line once again. He's bodied off the puck. No penalty called, although there was contact to the head, and this puck escapes Lacombe and exits the zone. Gopher fans not pleased.
Looked like that should have been a high sticking. Nevers was trying to plead his case as he thought he got hit up high.
Yeah, Nevers has had a tough game. Hit by a wicked one-timer. Takes a big hit into the boards that he's slow to get up from, and now stick high to the face. Thankfully, he was wearing one of those cages. Golden Gophers get a turnover in the offensive end. Snuggerud to Cooley. Cooley drops back to Snuggerud on the half wall. Now Johnson tries a quick shot, tipped in front, and a save at the 5-hole by Kester. Now a one-timer from Matthew Nyes. That never got through. Blocked by Zach Okabe, who works his way around Logan Cooley. Dangles into the Gopher zone, between the legs to the backhand, and that shot is high and wide. Matthew Nyes gets it back. Now it's Jimmy Snuggerud, 2-on-1 with Nyes. Snuggerud fires that one high. Back the other way come the Huskies. It's Okabe. He waits for support, tries sending one cross ice. That one too high for anyone to get a stick on. Bushy, a quick shot, and a glove save by Justin Close.
That'll end the period. Golden Gophers get a couple good chances near the end. Huskies get a couple chances punching back the other way. But the good guys going into the second period break with a 2-1 lead. A quick scoring summary so far in this game. Bryce Brodzinski got the scoring started on a great feed from Jackson Nelson and Mason Nevers. His 20th on the season, or excuse me, 19th. Then Adam Ingram answers back on one of St. Cloud State's 4 power plays, assisted by Cooper Wiley and Grant Cruikshank for his 8th on this season. And then Logan Cooley with an excellent stretch pass from Jackson Lacombe breaks the scoreless tie in the second at 14:03, even strength, his 20th.
And so with that, we will send it to an 11-minute break. We'll be back at 7:12 to break down the second period action, I should say, and look ahead to the final 20 minutes of regulation. Welcome back, hockey fans. Jason Ruttman, Jack Bartlett here in Fargo, North Dakota, as the Golden Gophers look to punch their ticket to the Frozen Four in just a few weeks from today. Jack, during the intermission, we were talking a little bit about what the Golden Gophers need to do to set themselves apart in this period. And we came up with 4 Ps that we think will secure them this victory.
Yeah, I don't quite remember all 4 Ps, so you'll keep me honest. Puck possession.
Yep.
Penalties.
Yep.
I don't know what the other passing.
Passing.
And I forgot what the last one
was.
Puck
control.
Puck control.
Especially in the defensive end. The Golden Gophers have done a really nice job this game keeping the puck out of the hands of St. Cloud State, whereas the Huskies have had a lot of defensive zone turnovers, largely thanks to strong Gopher forecheck, but that's something that has really haunted them and could be a backbreaker in this game. Taking a look at the team stats, the Golden Gophers are out shooting St. Cloud State 21-15. Minnesota has 4 penalties to the Huskies, 2. Staying out of the box might be the most important key for Minnesota in the final 20 minutes.
It is, and their lines get shuffled around every time, and they're always left at a disadvantage even after if St. Cloud State doesn't score, because teams love to shuffle up their lines, especially on the penalty kill, to get better matchups. When you have Matthew Nyes and Aaron Hughlin, that's messing up 2 separate lines. Most of the time, the defensive lines kind of stay together.
The Gophers were absolutely horrible in the face-off dot in the first period, winning only 25% of the draws. The second period, they looked a little bit more like themselves, outdrawing the Huskies 12-10. In terms of shot blocks, the Golden Gophers have put up 15. The Huskies not too far behind at 13. 5 of those go to Jackson Nelson, the big man for Minnesota.
Yeah, he's the tallest regular starter, listed at 6'4" on our stat sheets here. Tied with nobody else at 6'4", so he stands alone as the tallest man. He's been really, really solid. Alongside him, Mason Nevers has been putting the body on the line. We've been saying he's been getting beat up, and he has 2 big shot blocks. Lacombe has 3. Chesley has 2 as well. So the Gophers are getting in front of pucks, which they didn't have to do as much last game against Canisius, but they're sacrificing the body because this is it. This is the season right here.
For the Huskies, the player that could make or break this game is probably VT Miettinen, their strong left winger. He has a team high 4 shots on goal, and I believe that one of them hit the post, Jack.
It did, and he's been operating so well, especially when St. Cloud State gets consistent zone time when he's on the ice, just parking himself at that Ovechkin-esque top of the circle angle, looking for those one-timers. Golden Gophers have to be ready for those passes, and if they get a pick-off as he's expecting one of those, and he kind of whiffs and is unable to slow down his stick soon enough, they might be able to get a rush the other way.
The Golden Gophers are back out onto the ice alongside the Huskies as they get ready for puck drop to start the third. Minnesota looking to get to their 23rd ever Frozen Four. The Huskies looking to reach their 3rd, but it would be the 2nd in 2 years. Their program has been really good recently. In fact, they've actually beaten Minnesota in 6 of their last 10. They split the season series this year, and this game is looking to be just as close.
Yeah, no team has scored more than 3 goals in the series between these two this season, and looks like barring an offensive explosion, we may be headed in the same direction tonight.
The energy here in Shields Arena is palpable. A lot of Golden Gopher fans as the puck is dropped, but St. Cloud State also has a fair amount of representation. The Huskies win the draw and send it back to their defensive zone. A quick neutral zone turnover gets Minnesota the puck. It's Nevers dropping to Bradzinski. Bradzinski in front, and his shot ricocheted wide. Now Lacombe takes it around the boards, changes direction, dumps it off for Nevers, who slows up, centers for Bradzinski, fires, tipped in front. That one went high. The good look for Jackson Nelson, and now the Huskies will start back the other way. It's Cruikshank on the right wing. He'll dump it around. Kyler Kupka there to try and pick it up. He's bodied away by Ryan Johnson, and now Mike Kester will bring it across center ice and send it in. Coming back the other way is Yami Kranola. He lost possession, but now gets it back as the puck rolled over the stick of Brock Faber. Faber trapped in the corner, backhands to Ryan Johnson in the Gopher defensive end. and a breakout pass to Logan Cooley. Sent to the wing for Nyes. Nyes tried to give it back to Cooley, a little bit too far for him, and now it's a board battle behind the net of Jackson Kester. Picked up by Yami Kranola. Minnesota is working to hold the Huskies in their defensive end, but now they'll head off for a full 5-player change. Bringing it up is Andre Trebal, the Czech Republic native, and he'll fire it off the glass in deep. Justin Close stays in net smartly as Ryan Johnson was there to chip it forward. Aaron Huglin absorbs contact, gets the puck to Luke Middlestat. He's hounded from behind, and the puck sent in softly onto Castor, who freezes.
Good start for the Golden Gophers, getting some offensive zone time, getting the first and second shots on goal of the period, and not allowing St. Cloud State to get started. This is where the Gophers will make their money in the third period, is playing 5-on-5. They've proved thus far they can kind of control the pace of play. St. Cloud State does have a couple opportunities off the fast break that are dangerous, but the Gophers generally have had more zone time.
Minnesota, a tie-up off the draw. They get a quick shot. That never got on net, and it is out of the zone for Jackson Lacombe. Up to Cal Thomas and flipped in deep. No icing called as the puck was tipped right as it crossed the center ice line. Garrett Pinanimi tries to poke check on the dot to the right of Kester, and Kester has no problem as it's picked up once again by Cooper Wiley. Cooper Wiley brings it ahead, dumps it in, blocked down by Justin Close, and Lacombe is there to pick it up. Charlie Strobel couldn't hold on to it, and he gets some support from John Middlestat, who will dump it in, then head off for a change. Brody Lamb stays on the ice for the Golden Gophers, and it'll be his line that joins him. Aaron Huglin and Rhett Pitlick on as well. Tie up in the corner. The Huskies now have it at the blue line. Quick slap shot. That never got through. Close was looking for a glove save. Chesley brings it ahead. He's poke checked, and Pitlick scoops it up, fires it in deep. Brody Lamb applying the forecheck in the offensive zone. Pitlick gets the turnover, centers, and Huglin wasn't there to receive. Now back towards the blue line. It's Chesley. Sends it around the boards, near side, half wall where it meets the full. Chance in front, backhand. That one was saved by Castor.
Might have hit a man out front as well.
Minnesota.
We got a penalty coming up here. Is this another one against the Golden Gophers?
And I believe that it is. The Golden Gophers will take their 5th penalty of the game. Very uncharacteristic. It's a hooking penalty against Brody Lamb. And so St. Cloud State, their one goal came on the power play, Jack. They have a chance to tie it with a second.
I couldn't even see that one because we don't have a high enough vantage point. I think it happened alongside the close boards. I thought it was Pitlick, actually, that may have drawn something, but couldn't really tell because everybody on that line has a 7 at the end of their jersey. Huglin 7, Pitlick 77, Brody Lamb 17. Gophers shorthanded again. This is exactly what we needed to avoid.
Jackson Nelson can't win the draw, and so Jack Peart has it at the blue line. Over to Meyer. He tries a shot. They get another look in front. Okabe can't put it home.
Dangerous chance there for Okabe.
Back to Peart. Across. One-timer from Okabe. Blocker saved by Justin Close. Swatted out of the air, but it won't clear the blue line. Now it's Meyer at the near circle. Back to the point. Holding. Peart across. One-timer. Big save. Justin Close sprawling out to get a leg pad on it. A wrister into the glove. Close standing on his head on this power play.
Excellent 3 saves there from Justin Close. Gets across to Yami Kranola over instead of Mietinen on the far circle with the one-timer. Gets the left pad out. And on that last save, the puck was headed in between his left leg and his glove. Was able to trap it on top of his left leg with his glove and make an excellent save to keep the Gophers ahead.
Offensive zone draw for the Huskies. It'll be Mason Salquist to take it for them. He's playing in his home state, Grand Forks, North Dakota native, and Aaron Huglin jumped on the face-off, so before it's dropped, he has to reset. Now the puck dropped cleanly and won back by the Huskies. Peart across, another one-timer. Big save by Justin Close right into his chest.
Yami Kranola again, same spot, left Close's left dot right into his chest. Golden Gophers really, Faber got tripped up. He was looking like he was going to try and get out and block that, but got tripped up by a St. Cloud State player in front. Close still standing strong.
Salquist and Huglin line up at the circle once again, and Salquist got his stick on it, but it goes to Matthew Nyes, who walks in, can't escape the defensive Jack Peart, and he's taken down, no penalty called. Nyes barking at the official, desperately wants to play 4-on-4 hockey, not going to be able to.
Nyes comes up with a loose puck and gets the Golden Gophers' first official clear, now under a minute in the Lamb Minor.
15:35 left in regulation. Minnesota leads 2-1, and the Huskies have it in their defensive end. Chip to himself, Grant Cruikshank, a nice self pass, and will send it around the boards. Jackson Nelson will pressure Viti Miettinen, but the Huskies hold on. Wiley at the point, holding. Ingram now at the near dot, circles back as Ryan Chesley was in front of him, looking for a lane. Ingram still with the puck to the blue line for Wiley. Now far side, Miettinen. Nelson in front of him tries a shot. That wasn't competitive at all, high and off the glass. And now back to the point for Wiley. Cycled in deep. Miettinen on the far boards. Takes it on his backhand. The Golden Gophers holding that diamond formation inside. Quick shot, leg saved by Justin Close, and sent the length of the ice.
That'll end the penalty kill. Golden Gophers with an excellent stand. Justin Close with a couple, 3-4 good opportunities. And now the shots on goal that started the period were 21-15. Now it's 24-21 in favor of the Golden Gophers.
Here come the Huskies. Up ahead, brought into the zone by Micah Miller. He's forced behind the net of Justin Close. They poke at it at the far corner, and the Huskies hold it in momentarily. Matthew Nyes able to flick it to himself, to Ryan Johnson, and now it'll be held in on the blue line. Nice defensive play there by Bushy. Quick shot, and another save by Justin Close. He's locked in.
Close is eating up pucks right now. We'll head to a period break. 14:07 remaining in the third period. Gophers got to stay out of the box.
.14:07 left in period 3. Face-off draw coming to the right of Justin Close. Nelson lines up against Cronulla, and Nelson comes away victorious. Puck in the near corner. Justin Close looking on from his net as it's chipped high and into the stands. That's a nice souvenir.
Good clean face-off win there for Nelson. The Gophers just weren't able to hop on the puck fast enough. St. Cloud State battled for it in their own zone. Another face-off to close is right.
Nelson against Kranala, the senior from Nokia, Finland, once again. And Nelson gets another face-off victory. Brock Faber sends it off the plexiglass, and it's picked up by Andre Trebel. Justin Close gets it behind his net, and they smack away at it. Jackson Nelson comes up with the puck. Ahead for Mason Nevers, too far, and it's back to Andre Trebel. Trebel up to Zach Okabe. Okabe reverses course, circles around, and now will enter the offensive zone. Trying to split two Gophers, has a chance in front, kick save by Justin Close. Puck on the stick of Nelson again. He's pinned against the boards right near the Golden Gopher bench, and Minnesota will dump it into the far corner of the St. Cloud State end. They get it back in the neutral zone. Logan Cooley walks in, he's cut off, and once again, it's scooped up by Josh Lidke, the sophomore from Minnetonka. Long range shot, a chance in front, puck hit the side of the cage. St. Cloud State had a wide open look and couldn't convert it.
Unbelievable. Justin Close didn't even get a stick on that. He shouldn't have had a...
This game should be tied.
This game should be tied. He shouldn't have had a chance. I think that was maybe Kyler Kupka on the back door. I couldn't quite see in the rush. I think it was Chesley on the back check, got a stick on Kupka.
Fans here are buzzing in Fargo as time continues to tick down. 12 and a half left in the third.
Close gave a generous rebound there on a long shot, and that created that lucky bounce chance.
Puck is out of play, and so we'll have a neutral zone draw. Chaos here in Minnesota. We're getting a look at the replay here. You're right, it was Kyler
Logan Cooley.
Logan Cooley came flying in from the backside. Did he hit his stick?
I think he did.
It's hard to see from the angle, but he certainly interfered with the shot release. Cooley probably just saved Minnesota's lead.
He gave Minnesota the lead, and he probably just saved it himself. Excellent defensive play from Logan Cooley. Was sprinting hard, saw the St. Cloud State man untouched on the back door.
Gophers win the draw at center ice. Ryan Chesley with the puck. He can't get it out of the zone. A turnover, drop back, and now Brody Lamb recovers it. Ahead, and they'll play on the near board. Sent in deep for Cooper Wiley. Recovered there and ahead. Brody Lamb gets it the neutral zone, and it is funneled in around the boards. Back check there by the Golden Gophers as Castor was out of his net. They almost had a good chance out front, but a tie-up by a Husky prevented that. Another look from behind the net, and a good tip by a Husky stick prevented an opportunity for the Minnesota offense to go up 3-1. Back to Brock Faber. He walks the blue line, tries a shot. That one's soft right into the glove of Jackson Castor.
No one in front there, but really good pinch in by Rhett Pitlick. Made Castor get rid of the puck a little quicker than he wanted to, and Pitlick was able to pin it on the boards directly behind Castor's net to wait for reinforcements to arrive. Pitlick tried also to get a deflection on that stick, just missed. Or on that shot, just missed, excuse me.
More and more we're seeing St. Cloud State coach Brett Larson send out his top line of Jami Kranala, Zach Okabe, and Viti Miettinen. They're out to take on the Gophers' second line, and it's St. Cloud State winning the draw.
Brodzinski in the draw. I think Nelson got removed.
Kranala can't get it across the blue line cleanly, and so Nelson will poke at it in the neutral zone, provides a shove to Okabe, but it is picked up by Kranala. Gophers trying to hold the blue line, can't do it. Kranala moves ahead. Has Ryan Johnson in front of him, opts to give it to Okabe. Centering attempt is taken away by Ryan Johnson. The Irvine, California native is content to skate it across the red line and softly flick it in. Back check pressure provided by Bryce Brodzinski as it's Jack Peart, the Minnesota Wild prospect, patrolling in his defensive end. 10:55 left in the third. St. Cloud State searching for the equalizer. Logan Cooley saved what would have been a goal by Kyler Kupka, and since then, no good offensive chances for the Huskies. Minnesota through the neutral zone. Cooley, Snuggerud tries a shot that was weak off of his stick and went wide. Sent around the boards. Picked up by Snuggerud. Centered for Nyes. Dumped back to the point. Snuggerud tries a shot, that one just wide right. Huskies get it back. It's Kupka. He begins moving across the center ice line. Has Jackson Lacombe in front of him and sends one into the glass behind the net of Justin Close. Lacombe battling with Kupka down low. Puck ends up off one of their sticks and under the glove of Close.
We just got some breaking news in the realm of college basketball. 9-seeded FAU beats Kansas State, the 3-seed, 79-76, to become just the third 9-seed to reach the men's Final Four and the first since 2013. Amazing performance from the Owls. They've beaten some elite competition on their way.
It's impressive stuff. Face-off coming up to the left of Justin Close. It'll be Aiden Spellacy to take it for the Huskies. He actually won the draw, but Brody Lamb and Rhett Pitlick got to the puck first, so the Gophers will dump it in. A lot of chip and chase here for Minnesota in the third, but it's the same game for the Huskies as they go back the other way, sending it in deep. Rhett Pitlick trying to bat it out of the air and across the blue line, can't do it, and now Brody Lamb is able to corral it and send it ahead. Ryan Johnson to Brock Faber. Faber skating backwards will provide some space for himself. Stretch pass off the stick of Huglin, turned over. Spellacy had it, and now it's back to Brody Lamb. Lamb, who has 2 goals in his last 2 games, dumps it in, heads off for a change. 9:22 left in the third. Jackson Nelson has it in the neutral zone, backhands it ahead. Picked up there by Cooper Wiley, the freshman from Stillwater, Minnesota. Let's Go Gophers chants have resumed here at Shields Arena. As the puck is dumped in, Justin Close sticks that one high into the air. And Okabe tried a long shot, couldn't get much on it. Another good look for Okabe, but Minnesota in the way again. The block shots have been just pouring in for Minnesota here.
Minnesota, a little too much jump and chase for my liking. 1 goal is not enough of a lead to kind of be playing park the bus defensively, especially against such a quick team like St. Cloud State. You want to keep the pressure on, keep the foot on the gas.
Offensive zone pressure by Matthew Nyes. That allows him to keep it in. Snuggerud, a shark goal shot. That never got through. And Cooley tried a wraparound, but couldn't get the puck off of his stick. Minnesota holding it in. It's Nyes. Walks in at the dot. Quick shot covered up by Jackson Castor.
Excellent play by Castor. Puck deflected off of his stick up in the air. Was able to snare it with his left glove. We'll head to a break. Under the halfway point, 8:20 left in period 3 of this one. Gophers still clinging on to the narrowest of margins, 2-1.
Back here in Fargo, North Dakota, the Golden Gophers and St. Cloud State Huskies still battling this one out. 2-1 is the score for Minnesota. If it were to stand, Logan Cooley's breakaway goal would be the game winner, but St. Cloud State is going to start pushing really, really hard here, trying to tie this game up once more. Face-off will be to the right of Castor. One back. Lacombe tries a one-timer. He scores! Lacombe! Gophers lead 3-1!
Unbelievable! Unbelievable slap shot from Jackson Lacombe from the point. Great screen in front of Castor. He doesn't even see it until it's getting back out of the net.
Jackson Lacombe, a rocket. He goes glove side on Castor, and he didn't have a chance. That was an absolute blast right off the draw. Clean win for the Golden Gophers, and Minnesota has doubled the lead. That is an unbelievable goal.
The cleanest of clean face-off wins you could get from Logan Cooley, who's been all over the stat sheet tonight. He'll get an assist on that one. The lone assist, his team leading 37th and team leading 57th point on the season.
So all of a sudden the game plan changes for Brett Larson and the Huskies. They could even consider bringing one defenseman off, putting an extra forward on to increase their scoring chances, but within the next 3 or 4 minutes, they need to be looking at pulling their goalie if the score stays at 1-1. Okabe in his offensive end for St. Cloud State, circling around the Gopher defense, tries a quick shot, never got off the ice and never got through. Now down low, centering attempt that got all the way back to Zach Okabe off the stick of Treball. Bushy is back with Cronulla, and Yami Cronulla's shot is out of play.
7.5 left. That's Lacombe's 9th on the season. He leads the defense. No defenseman is closer to him than Mike Kester with 5, but Lacombe's 35th point on the season, and as well as his 2nd tonight, so him and Cooley both with a goal and assist.
Jackson Lacombe has been dealing with a lower body injury for the last 3 weeks or so. We were wondering how healthy he would be coming into this game with only 2 days rest under his belt. He appears to be doing okay, scoring a huge 3rd goal for Minnesota. Gophers win the draw in the defensive end. Wiley keeps it in, and now taken by Huglin. 1-on-2, Aaron Huglin waits, tries to drag, and the shot never got past the defenseman for St. Cloud State. The Gophers keep it in near corner, and now taken back by Cooper Wiley. Wiley will move it ahead. Adam Ingram provides pressure, and it's back out to the neutral zone. Salquist to Ingram, dumped in. The Gophers will hold it in. Grant Crookshank pressuring Ryan Chesley, sends the puck end over end through the air out of the zone, and now sent in behind the red line again. Chesley up the boards. Ahead to Logan Cooley, 1-on-3 for him, has Snuggerud trailing. Cooley tries to chip and chase, pinned against the boards there by Lidke. They poke at it. No one coming away just yet. Cooley doing everything he can, and somehow the puck got away from a St. Cloud State player, but ended up on a teammate's stick. A long shot from about 40 feet out for the Huskies goes wide right of Justin Close's cage. Tie up in the far corner, Gopher defensive end. Puck sent towards the blue line, kept in by Lidke. He tries a shot, Kester deflected that out of the air. He doesn't even have a stick in his hands. And Minnesota will send it all the way down. This will be icing.
Under 6 minutes to go now. That was a risky play. Kester, without a stick, was trying to battle, but a really, really smart play beneath the net by Logan Cooley, pinning the puck on the boards, eating precious time off of St. Cloud State's chances to get back into this one.
5:57 is all that separates the Golden Gophers from their 23rd trip to the Frozen Four, and now a timeout has been called on the ice. St. Cloud State is the one that takes it.
We'll head to a TV timeout here. Gophers get an amazing face-off win from Logan Cooley and a cannon of a one-timer from Jackson Lacombe for his 9th of the season. They're up 3-1. You're listening to Radio K Sports.
Gophers lead it 3-1 with under 6 minutes left in the third. If you're just joining us, I'm Jason Ruttman. Jack Bartlett with me here at Shields Arena. Minnesota doubled their lead courtesy of Jackson Lacombe off of a Logan Cooley face-off win. St. Cloud State just called their team's only timeout, and even though the draw is in the Gopher defensive end, they leave Jackson Castor in net, at least for the time being. Minnesota wins the draw. It's sent all the way down. That'll be another icing on Brock Faber. In terms of shots on goal, the Golden Gophers are ahead 28-23. Minnesota has taken 5 penalties in this game. St. Cloud State has only converted on 1 of them. Face-offs, St. Cloud State +4 there. And shot blocks, Minnesota has 21 on the evening. Just about double their season average. Face-off draw goes in on Justin Close. He kicks that to the side, and Brock Faber winds up with the puck, sending it high in the air and arcing out of the zone. Picking it up, Jack Peart, geometrically off the boards to a defensive partner, and now ahead to Cronulla. Cronulla walks in and will send it towards the net, never got through. Centering attempt was tipped by a Golden Gopher stick. Jack Peart on the near boards, getting support there from Cronulla. Dumped off to Miettinen, and a glove save by Justin Close.
Yeah, on the night, Gophers with 21 blocks, St. Cloud State with 17. Both of these teams sacrificing everything they've got to will their team make a trip to Boston, or to Tampa to play Boston in the Frozen Four.
The Boston Terriers won their regional final game by a score of 2-1 earlier today, so they have already punched their ticket to Florida. Shot off the draw, never got through.
Kester
that was Jack Rogers.
Block.
Kester in the way of the Rogers shot. Brody Lamb backhands it ahead, trying to apply forecheck pressure to Lidke, and he'll get the puck back. He's taken down, fans begging for a penalty. They won't get one. Quick shot on net was saved by Castor. Now puck behind the cage, centered. Lamb can't get to it, and it'll be cleared out of the zone, at least for the moment. Minnesota trying to get a quick re-entry. They battle for it right near the St. Cloud bench. Stepping away with it is Spellacy, and it is tapped around the boards. Lacombe rings it to the other side of the ice, and it's Aaron Huglin ahead to Snuggerud. Snuggerud chipped it forward. He had no support, and so Minnesota resets defensively. Salquist sends it back to the blue line. Shot was blocked. That'll spring Matthew Nyes. He's being held. Penalty coming up. Gophers still have the puck. Walking in, centering, and a shot couldn't be taken by Snuggerud. Another look, and Minnesota will hold on to the puck. To the bench is close. Ryan Chesley with it at the blue line. Cross-ice pass for Luke Middlestat. Middlestat centering attempt, tip goes just wide, and Minnesota holds on to the possession. Ryan Chesley on the far side of the blue line. Puck out of the zone. Tap to Logan Cooley, and now the fans are starting to get up on their feet here. 3 minutes, 40 seconds, delayed penalty coming up on St. Cloud State as Matthew Nyes was taken down trying to rush up ice. Finally, the Huskies touch up, and the Golden Gophers will have a man advantage for the next 2 minutes. What an unbelievable turn of events for them. St. Cloud State was getting ready to pull their goalie and go to the 6-on-5 man advantage. Instead, it's the Gophers who will have an extra skater.
A minute and a half, St. Cloud State will be left with that penalty on number 34, Adam Ingram, the freshman with St. Cloud State's lone goal on the night. Takes a costly penalty on Matthew Nyes' hard-working rush by himself on a 2-on-1. He drew that penalty himself. He drew that penalty, and although he hasn't even appeared on the score sheet yet in either of these 2 games, there's definitely things that you have to keep an eye on, like that play. That play is critical. That's almost as valuable as scoring a goal there.
Absolutely. If you would trade 2 minutes for a goal when you're up 2-1, I would say so, and in this case, I 100% would. Adam Ingram from West St. Paul, Manitoba.
Not Minnesota somehow.
Plays for Youngstown in the USHL. And he will sit in the box for 2 minutes. The Golden Gophers will have their 3rd power play chance of the day. were not able to score on the first 2 tries, but this is an interesting scenario for St. Cloud State because they need to be pushing the pace both offensively but also staying back defensively in order to decrease the chance that Minnesota tacks on a 4th tally. Something to note, the Huskies have had a really strong penalty kill in terms of scoring. 8 shorties on the year for them.
Yeah, but never count them out shorthanded. Again, they can absolutely put pucks in the back of the net if the Gophers' power play isn't careful, and you better guess that they're going to be pretty aggressive on the penalty kill here.
It'll be Aaron Huglen to take the draw against graduate student Grant Cruikshank. Fans here are largely out of their seats as the Minnesota Rouser just finished up. The Gophers brought part of their pep band here today.
Ingram's penalty was 2 minutes for holding as well.
Aaron Huglen wins the draw. Kester keeps it in, rings it around the boards down low. It'll be cleared out of the zone through the air by the Huskies. A good job by Cruikshank, and now whistles sound.
Hand pass. I don't know why it's coming all the way back down to the Gophers end.
Gophers were guilty of it. It's a good eye there, Jack. It'll be Huglen again.
Sending out their second power play unit of Kester, Middlestat, Brodzinski, Nevers, Huglen.
3:23 left in the third. Minnesota leads 3-1. They have goals from Brodzinski, Cooley, and most recently, Lacombe. Aaron Huglen will win the draw back to Luke Middlestat. Middlestat up against the boards, will get it ahead, but too far for a teammate, and St. Cloud State will dump it in. Micah Miller with the puck, goes to his forehand. They chip at it in front of the net. Justin Close didn't have to make a save there. Good defense by Mike Kester to get the puck into the far corner. Kester holding behind the net of Justin Close as the Gophers spread out, killing precious time. Under 3 minutes now in Fargo. Minnesota looking to get to the Frozen Four for the second year in a row. They'll have a date with Boston University if they do so. Pass ahead to Logan Cooley, streaking up the left wing. Centers for Nyes. His shot just wide. Off the boards and out of the zone. Jackson Lacombe will chase it down. Kyler Kupka provides pressure, has a stick around Lacombe and ends up dropping it to avoid a penalty. Smart play there by number 10 in black. Snuggerud can't get a clean entry into the zone. Puck taken by Miller. Miller drops it back, and it's Mason Reiners, the extra defenseman, who will get it back to Miller, who walks in, shot on. That was partially tipped, and Close has an easy job snaring it.
2:02 left. St. Cloud State's Jackson Castor trying to work his, I would guess, work his way to the bench, even though the St. Cloud State Huskies still have 27 seconds left. He is skating around his net and definitely encroaching past the blue paint. I wonder if they probably would have to wait until 1:30, you would think.
That would be what I would do if I were the coach, but Brett Larson may have other ideas. Led them, the Huskies that is, to the Frozen Four in 2021. Fastest coach in program history to 100 wins, a record that he picked up this year. Jackson Lacombe gets the puck off the Gopher draw in the defensive zone. Taken by Spellacy, centering attempt. Couldn't be tapped home. Held in, quick shot, that one wide, right of the cage. Jackson Nelson on it. To Lacombe. Lacombe skating through his defensive end. Will get it ahead to Brodzinski, who has to chase it down behind the red line. St. Cloud State back to full strength, so it is almost inevitable that Jackson Castor will head to the bench very soon. Starts skating forward, and as it's Cronulla crossing the center ice line, Castor will head to the bench. 1:16 left in this one. St. Cloud State chasing two. Salquist ahead to Okabe, it's in front, and the Golden Gophers clear it. Ryan Johnson was right there to pick up the loose change. Backdoor pass for Salquist. Can't hold on to it. Meyer to the point, one-timer, big save by Close into the glove.
Unbelievable windmill glove save by Justin Close on the long slapper by Peart. And I don't know how that puck got through cleanly off the stick of Peart. There's so much traffic in front of the net. How Close saw it is another mystery to me.
There were probably 6 players in front of Justin Close, and he was able to go into almost a full splits and windmill that thing out of midair. Incredible stuff.
I think the Gophers are taking a timeout here.
Timeout on the ice.
59.3 left.
Man, this has been a fun one, Jack.
It has. That penalty changed the tide of this game. St. Cloud State was going to have 3+ minutes shorthanded to just start taking pot shots at Justin Close, trying to slam something home. Instead, it's only a minute and a half, and now under a minute.
Shots on goal favor the Golden Gophers 29-26, but more recently, St. Cloud State has been in the driver's seat. They outshot the Golden Gophers by 2 in the second. They're out shooting them by 3 here in the third.
Assuming that number will climb too.
Empty net for the Huskies. Golden Gophers returning from the timeout. St. Cloud State is going to need 2 goals in under 60 seconds in order to send this thing to overtime and give themselves a chance to continue their season in Tampa Bay.
Gophers send out pretty much all of their biggest players. They've got Nelson, Nevers, Nyes, Faber, and Johnson on the ice right now.
Salquist will square off with Jackson Nelson to take the draw to the right of Justin Close. Puck is dropped and the Gophers get it. Held in by Salquist. Back to Peart. To the near boards. They cycle it down low. It's Cranola. Back up top. Peart to the wing for Meyer. Meyer, one-timer from Peart right into the chest of Justin Close, who freezes it.
Again, another shot from Peart right at the center of the ice towards Justin Close, and he somehow finds that one and swallows it up. 42.9.
Everyone on their feet here at Shields Arena. It'll be another face-off to the blocker side, the right side of Justin Close. Miettinen, Ingram, Cruikshank, Peart, and Jack Rogers are the skaters for St. Cloud State. The Golden Gophers have Nelson at the face-off dot again. He's finally positive on the evening, has won 12, lost 23, has lost 11. He loses this one here. Quick shot, they poke at it, and Justin Close has a puck go off of his pads all the way down to the empty net. That's in! Minnesota sends a puck off the glass all the way down, and it's 4-1.
I think that was Ryan Johnson. He had a long empty net goal. Looks like actually maybe Jackson Nelson. Couldn't quite tell who had it down in the close corner because everybody's standing up and we can't really see much. Banked it off the boards. Puck just fluttered the right way and found its way into the empty net. Gophers are going to head to Tampa Bay with that one.
31.1 seconds left, and this game is just about over. The writing on the wall for St. Cloud State. The Golden Gophers look like they have a matchup settled with Boston University coming up on April 6th at Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay. Nelson takes the draw at center ice for the Golden Gophers, and it's won by the Huskies. Jackson Nelson does get credit with the empty net goal.
Unassisted.
Huge goal for Minnesota. Now 17 seconds left. Puck in deep behind the net of Justin Close. Castor in his net, and Minnesota will get it to the neutral zone. 8 seconds left. The Golden Gophers standing up on their bench. They'll now flood out onto the ice, and that's it. Pack your bags. The Golden Gopher men's ice hockey team is going back to the Frozen Four 2 years in a row.
Unbelievable performance by the whole team. Justin Close coming up when they needed him the most. A couple momentous saves late in this one, especially when it was 2-1 in the second period. He had a couple excellent saves to keep the game tied. And then Jackson Lacombe, just before that Nelson goal, he laid everything out on the line, blocked a huge slap shot from St. Cloud State and set up Jackson Nelson with the lucky bounce off the boards into the empty net. His 9th on the season. And he's the third Golden Gopher with a 2-point night, joined by Logan Cooley and Brock Faber.
Elation and hugs for the Golden Gophers, despair and hung heads for the Huskies, but they will line up at center ice to shake hands. A hard-fought battle between these two teams all night. For a long time, we didn't know which way this game was going, but the Golden Gophers get a slap shot from Jackson Lacombe to open up the scoring, make it 3-1, and then Nelson gets the puck in his defensive end, sends it ricocheting off the glass. It flies down the ice, wobbles into the empty net, and Minnesota will go to their 23rd Frozen Four in program history.
Final stats for you on the night. Jason and I will be driving home, making the trek home later tonight. We'll be happy. Golden Gophers led in the shot columns 30-28. They took a lot of penalties. They got to clean that up heading into the next game, but St. Cloud State 1 of 5 on the power play. Golden Gophers 0 for 3. St. Cloud State had the slight edge in the face-off dot, 32-28, but the Golden Gophers laying the bodies on the line. A lot of them taking a significant amount of time thanking or saying hi to Grant Crookshank. The handshake line is being held up a little bit right now, but Golden Gophers with some excellent shot blocking. Jackson Lacombe, Jackson Nelson had a phenomenal game. Close, shut it down.
Golden Gopher 3 stars of the game are being announced, and that's why you hear the cheering. It's Jackson Lacombe, the 3rd star, Justin Close, the 2nd star, Logan Cooley, the 1st. Let's take a minute to talk about Justin Close. We talked about the offense the Gophers generated, but 28 saves for the senior Justin Close, adding to the accolades that he has put up this season. I mean, what a performance by him. A couple unbelievable glove saves, including a fantastic windmill while doing the splits. It is now the hugs will continue for the Golden Gophers. They get their championship hats. Entire coaching staff now out onto the ice. And St. Cloud State still finishing the handshake line. The Golden Gophers defeat the Huskies 4-1 and are headed to Tampa.
There is a barely higher than 0% chance that Jason and I will be broadcasting that game. Most likely not. So this will be it, more than likely, for our Golden Gopher hockey broadcasts on this season. From me, Jack Bartlett, Jason Ruttman, Andrew Kitzmall, Matthew Zeichert, all the other guys who came out to help with hockey. We thank you for tuning into all these broadcasts. It's been a lot of fun up here in the broadcast booth doing my first season with hockey. And I just think it might be my favorite sport to broadcast now.
It's a great time, and having a team that's as successful as the Golden Gophers helps. Now they'll raise their hats and salute the crowd. About 60% of the stadium still here, all clad in maroon and gold. And so with that, we will wrap up our coverage from Shields Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. The Golden Gophers are heading to Tampa to play the Boston Terriers on April 6th as they compete for their 6th national championship in program history. Good night, everyone.